Gather round, freaks. Join us tonight as we follow the gossip train all the way back to high school, sharing secrets, telling lies, and looking great in a corset, as all of us are wearing right now. Join us tonight for a pocket full of sunshine on Hey, did you see this one?
In a world where society tells you to doubt your strength, question your intelligence, and dim your light, we search for voices to tell our stories. Voices to empower us,
Uplift us, and keep us heard by the masses. These are the voices of powerful, resilient, and talented women who aren't afraid to speak up and speak loudly. Women who teach us to be brave, to be vulnerable, and to believe in ourselves. So, Hey, did you see this one? Invites you to Feminist Masterpiece Theater. Hi. Is nobody saying anything? That's crazy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I had my mic muted.
I was in a room in another dimension.
Welcome, everybody, to our weekly TV show, internet show called Hey, Did You See This One? Where we talk about movies for hours and hours and hours, and in a round table discussion format where we pick apart movies to every single ad nauseum, I guess, is basically what we do. We don't leave any stone unturned here on Hey, Did You See This One? And of course, we are continuing our theme of the month, which is Feminist Masterpiece Theater, where we take films that are directed by women, written by women, starring women, telling stories about women, and celebrating that fact. Some to questionable results, I would say, this month. But yeah, this week we are doing one of our regular guests, Cass's favorite movie of all time. I don't know if that's true. You just like this movie. The movie is Easy A. But before we get into that, I'm going to introduce myself, Stephen Bilbo Blackfly Waters, your host, joined, of course, by Easy Jason R. Phillips, my co-host and also host.
Hello, welcome to the show. This is episode 239.
And to everybody in the chat saying hello, 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 hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
All right, that sounds so cool.
And yeah, we are of course we are joined by our two guests, returning to the show for the 900th time. We have Cassandra Hodgins. Welcome back.
Hello.
So good to
great
see
to
you
be here. I know it's been a while. I said that last week too.
And we're also joined once again by Ben. What is this meant to say?
Benvolio. It's Shakespeare. Get it?
It's Shakespeare.
Oh yeah, is this Shakespeare?
Shakespeare?
No. Welcome back, Benvolio.
So if he's been on 900 times or 9,000 times, is mine like 10 million? Jesus Christ.
I mean, you guys have been on pretty similar amounts, I would say. Yeah. You guys are I think most returned guests. Maybe
Much
yeah,
to everyone.
I think so. Both of you are, yeah.
Tim hasn't been on in a while, so
yeah.
these guys have caught up.
Yeah, I think close on your heels is Tim and Alex Gao. But yeah, it's good to see you guys again. We all watched this movie together, which was fun at my home. We ordered pizza and we had fizzy drinks with poison in them. And I had too many of them, and I feel like shit now. But here we are.
It's like the one benefit of being a dad. Well, there's lots of benefits of being a dad now, but I didn't drink like at all. I had 1 strong beer and 2 weak beers, so I'm fine today for once. Normally when I go watch a movie,
Jason, we had fizzy drinks with poison in them. That's not what we don't talk about alcohol on this show.
Okay, we don't talk about alcohol on this show.
I don't know what that is.
I'm drinking tea.
That's an interesting energy drink you have there, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like one, honestly.
Kind of does, yeah.
So why don't we just jump right into this? Because we need to appease our god, the movie god, the big head in the sky, Zardos, with a synopsis.
Zardos speaks to you. He demands you synopsize this film. Tell him how, why, who, what occurs in this film.
No, before you tell us about the synopsis of this film, I want to read the actual synopsis of the film. Today is the most popular game ever. I'm looking for a walking path to the elevator. You can actually get out of the games on top of the games on the top.
What?
That's
Fabulous.
crazy.
Baller bot.
Anyway, go ahead, Noel. Sorry.
Yeah, so Rory, would you like to do the synopsis? Okay, then. Fuck. Trevor, can you? So, Easy A is a movie about a girl who lies about having sex to her friend, and a religious zealot overhears her, spreads the rumor, and then because that her gay friend, well, actually they're not friends, but the gay boy in the school asks her to pretend to have sex with him so that people will think he's straight and he won't get bullied. This snowballs out of proportion as more boys ask for her to pretend to bone her so they can be cool. This comes to a head when someone says that she gave him chlamydia, but really he's sleeping with the teacher, and it all goes to shit. Then she does a video, like a webcast to explain the situation. Hilarity ensues and the movie ends.
Yes.
At some point, she dresses up like Hester Prynne.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward, yeah.
Cool. Good job. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's go into our brief histories with the movie Easy A.
A brief history!
This part of the show is where we talk about the briefest histories that we have with the movie that we're discussing. So, Cass, why don't you go first? Because I think that you'll probably have the most to say about your brief history with Easy A.
I definitely do. Apologies. I tried not to write a novel, but I might have written a novel. My briefest history of this movie is it came out in 2010. I saw it in 2011. I was in high school. I was personally going through a very tough time with some rumors circulating about me, and I was not doing well, to say the least. So I took a couple weeks off. I think it was a couple weeks. It's a bit of a blur, off of school. I was at home. I was basically glued to the couch, and my parents didn't really know what to do other than to rent me movies. So I watched probably 3 movies a day for approximately 2 weeks, give or take. And this was a movie that I picked up. I wasn't sure if I was actually going to enjoy it. I had heard it was good, but because I was dealing with so much high school stuff, I was like, am I going to just trigger myself into like a worse state of mind? But I watched it, and the difference that it did to me and my psyche, when I started watching the movie, I was on the couch lying down. When I finished watching the movie, I was sitting upright and I was engaged. And it felt like similar to what Olive talks about in the movie itself of like, how isn't it ironic that like whatever you're studying in school happens to be exactly what your life is going through right now. Like this movie was that for me. And I had this kind of flip of a switch moment where I went to my mom and I was like conscious and awake and I was like, hey, make a hair appointment. I need to get my hair done tomorrow and then I need to go back to school. I dyed my hair red. I went back to school the day after with a bright cherry red trench coat, my knee-high leather boots, stiletto heels, and sunglasses. And I walked in like I owned the place because I finally kind of figured out that, as this movie kind of taught me, is that I write my own narrative. It doesn't matter what other people say. I am the author. And that this movie really did that for me. On that note, very quickly, before I finish my brief history, this is kind of the reason that I wanted to pick this for Feminist Movie Masterpiece Theater Month. Obviously, there are arguments that could be made that if this movie is considered like a perfect feminist movie masterpiece in itself, but at least what it did for me, it was deeply feminist. It gave me so much power to be myself, to gain confidence again, and to see how somebody could navigate such a tricky situation, even though it's funny and also has a lot of heart. But yeah, I also think that it's an example of how movies don't have to be like a perfect feminist text to still be empowering. So that's my take.
Yeah, I think that's an important point to make as well, is that like, just because it's not good, I mean, because I didn't particularly enjoy this movie, but we'll talk about it as we go. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie for everyone, right? Like my taste has nothing to do with the impact that the movie has on you. So I think that's. I'm glad that you brought this one to me, because I probably never would have watched this movie had you not suggested it. And even though I didn't particularly enjoy it, I think that there are lots of things to enjoy about this movie, and I'm happy we get to discuss it with you guys today. Noel, why don't you give us your brief history as well?
Yeah, I saw this when it came out in theaters, and I remember really liking it. And then I saw it last night, and I didn't like it as much.
Very brief, thank you. Mine is similar, except I didn't see it in theaters. I remember seeing the trailer for this, and I'm like, oh, Emma Stone is starring in a movie. Cool. Didn't see it, and then it kind of left my mind until now, where I watched it yesterday with you guys, and that's the end. That's it. That's how brief it is for me. Jason, how about you?
Similar to you guys, not Cass as much, because Cass, I think this affected you directly in high school. We're all a little bit older.
There's definitely, yeah, I feel like the timeline of like aging out of high school and then this coming out, there's definitely, I can understand there's some difference.
Mm-hmm. But I will say I was about 25 when this came out, just at that point where I was starting to be like an adult for real. Now I'm on my own. And around this time, I was finding that high school movies weren't like a situational thing that I'm living, but I was reflecting on my high school era around this time. And I remember downloading this movie and really enjoying it, because I was starting to like reflect on what my high school years were like. And I really identified with like characters, because my high school experience was a little bit like this, but a little bit different. I was telling you guys last night how I went to like an adult high school, basically for like dropouts and teen moms and stuff, and like adults going back to school.
Yeah.
But before that, I had a pretty typical high school experience where I went to a high school that none of my friends went to. I had this like group of friends that I kind of left and went to a new group of friends, but they all went to a different high school than me. So I had a very like, that scene where she's just alienated everybody and she's sitting eating lunch by herself, I kind of identified with that, because I kind of accidentally did that. I mean, I still was able to have a group of friends to hang out with, but I kind of identified with some elements of this movie. And then I kind of forgot about this for a long time, to the point where I thought I forgot kind of the conceit, kind of the gimmick. I knew it had something to do with her wanting the perception to be that she lost her virginity. I forgot that it was like she was having people pay her to tell other people that they had lost their virginity. So I was actually like, I was pretty engaged with this movie rewatching it. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun movie, and if you're in high school,
Mhm.
please turn this show off.
Yeah.
If you're in high school, there's a lot of stuff you can relate to in this. Probably a lot more. There's no like social media, like the fact that she's doing like a webcast.
Mhm.
That was huge at the time to be like, whoa, she has technology.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this happening right now, but like with TikTok and social media? Like what a different movie that would be, and horrific.
Just remake it with
Yeah.
through the lens of like TikTok. You could remake this movie pretty easily with social media. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, that's pretty much my brief history with this.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, as we were talking about it, like, I think for me, it's the issue that I have is that even when I was in high school, I didn't like movies about high school. I've been like a curmudgeonly old man since I was a child, where I'm like, I like movies about whimsical adventures with kids, and then adults doing adult stuff, and then everything in between. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't like this. I don't like the coming of age tales that take place in the sort of mundane trappings of high school and the rigid education system of North America. I find it like taxing and boring, and I don't enjoy it particularly. There's a couple that I do like, but it's rare, and so I think that was one of the issues that I had when we were watching the movie last night, is that I'm just like, I hate teenagers so fucking much.
I mean, since everyone has said a little bit of piece about high school,
Mhm.
I can't identify with this movie at all. Like, this high school is absolute, like, so nothing like the high school experience that I had. People weren't like that. People didn't talk like that. People weren't mean. There was nobody doing any of this. Everyone was friends, hand holding, singing Kumbaya. Like, I can't. This is a fantasy. So
That
there's
sounds so nice.
absolutely nothing. Not my life. This movie is a fantasy, and in no way, shape, or form can I identify with this story at all.
Yeah, you had said that last
As a
night, but I
teenager.
think me and Cass were both like, this is pretty similar to what my high school was like.
It's insane. I couldn't believe that this is anybody's high school experience. And
Yeah.
so incredibly unworldly.
My school had a little bit more diversity going on. It wasn't just a bunch of hot white people.
Yeah, that's a big issue with this one. I also will say too, it's
white people in our school.
Yeah.
I think this, like, it's really cool to get everybody's perspective on this, because I think I said this last night. I feel like this movie was really culturally relevant for like 2010, this era of me in high school. But it's almost like if you took Mean Girls and then zoomed it in like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times and just focused on one individual person. Like, we're really seeing a lot of this through Olive's eyes. And I think that can be a detriment, because some people really can't relate to it. They have nothing to pull from, but because it is also so specific, if it does hit you, like me, it'll hit you like a truck. So it's just a really interesting thing to talk about with you guys and get your perspectives on it.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go into production talk.
All right. Quiet on set. Are we rolling? Okay, let's shoot this piece of shit.
Sound. Speed. Action!
So off the bat,
go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, what were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say this movie's called Easy A.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So off the bat, what I'll say is that, like, I'm surprised they haven't either made a sequel or a remake of this movie, because it made 9 times its budget. It was made for $8 million, and it made $75 million worldwide, and domestically $58 million. So I'm surprised, like, because Mean Girls, they tried to make a TV show out of. They've been talking about a sequel for years. Well, it wasn't really a TV show. It was loosely based on the concept. Anyway,
they did a remake. It was a musical.
They did a remake and a musical. So, like, I'm surprised this wasn't touched. Yes, that's right. Yeah. But I think it was the remake was. Anyway, I'm not just going to talk. You're right. I'm trying. I'm trying to do better. I will say about this, I believe it's been talked about being remade or making a sequel, but I couldn't find any real concrete information on that. So no sequel.
I'm like, what would a sequel be? Like, what would they?
She
goes to university and everybody thinks she's a whore again. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know what the concept would be to make a sequel for this, because she learns all of the things she needs to learn about this situation that she's put herself into, and then perpetuated by trying to be a good person, right? Like that's the whole sort of conceit of the movie, is that like she makes up this rumor because she's bored or whatever, and she wants to put some weight over her friend, and then she uses the rumor for the betterment of other people that she kind of pities or feels sorry for.
Well, to be fair, just she didn't really do it to one up her friend. It was more just like, I really need to get out of an uncomfortable situation, and I don't want to hang out with your parents, and you're really bothering me, so I'm just going to say something.
I forgot about her weird naked hippie parents or whatever eating.
I was going to say something
bird shit or whatever it was.
But I'm not gonna.
You're gonna say something
a
really
little
mean?
gardening for dessert.
Oh, you can say you're mean.
Okay, I don't know if we had anything to tell in this one, so I don't see why we would do a second one.
Oh, I see.
I'm not falling for this. Just comment. Production.
It's gonna be like, oh, mac your cheese.
Right.
A remake would be very easy to do. Very, very easy.
A remake, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie is directed by Will Gluck, who I'm not overly familiar with, but I'm sure
I will say
some stuff.
I just learned about Will Gluck. I've seen a movie he's written and directed before this, and I can't believe
a lot of the stuff
it.
is like rom-com-y stuff, so
yeah,
I'm not not my cup of tea.
There's this movie called Fired Up. It's basically about two like teen dudes who decide to go to cheerleader camp to like get laid or whatever, and
sounds
it's
terrible.
Goofy. It was awful. It was so bad, but it ended up on my like list of movies that were recommended to me, but I forgot to write who recommended it. So what I do is I have this list and I'll just download movies and put them on and watch them, like comedies especially I'll just put on while I'm working or playing video games. And I remember watching this thing and being like, how did this end up on my list? But it's funny because it has some like really notable people in it. I'm not going to list the cast. Go look at it for yourself. You'll recognize everybody in this cast. But it's funny that Easy A is by the same person, because it totally has the same energy as this, just like a kind of off the wall comedy set in like a high school situation.
Yeah.
But
does it have the same kind of like sarcasm,
yeah,
like dry sarcasm, quick-witted?
I think
tone?
He was going for like a bosom buddies kind of thing with the other movie. Where these two guys are like, we're going to quit football and we need to get laid. So we're going to go to cheerleader camp and be cheerleaders.
I hate that. Yeah. Just the concept. I hate it. He also made Peter Rabbit and Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. And I think the 2014 Annie.
The Annie remake.
He was also
a writer.
So he's been in a lot of amazing projects that I really respect highly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems though like he also isn't just a director though, because he also was the lyricist and composer for.
Yeah, he won a Golden Globe for some kind of song or nomination, and he's a nepo baby. He's the son of an architect and Japanologist.
He's the son of Jiminy Glick.
According to scholarly article Wikipedia.
Well, good for him. And then we've got Bert V. Royal Jr., who is the writer. Again, I'm not very familiar with his work. It doesn't look like he has much, to be honest. Other than this movie.
I recognize anything here? No. Oh, he worked on. He was additional crew on Big Hero 6.
Cool.
What the additional crew? What does he do? It's like an animated movie.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he's just there. He was in the room.
Yeah. Don't know much about him, but I mean, in terms of production, very clearly set and shot in California. You can tell because all their lockers are outside, which is like something that would never happen above the equator. It's like the weather here is too frigid to have outdoor lockers. I was wondering if it was the same school as like Halloween, and like they just had like a very similar vibe to a lot of other movies that we've seen in the past on this show.
It's possible. I know like a lot of those kind of lots are used and reused a lot of the time. Haha, lot. Sorry. rhymed with myself. But I also find too, when I'm watching things, like I think I have a weird pattern recognition where I'll see something I think is the same thing, and then I go look it up, and I'm like, dang it, I was really close, but it's not the same. But I'd be curious.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't have a ton to add in terms of production.
I have a couple little fun facts about this movie.
Hit me.
The script was written in 5 days right after the writer's strike in 2009, which is interesting. This does feel like he had the idea and he just got it out, because it's such an easy premise and then you just write snappy. What do you say?
I said you said easy, and I was like, "A."
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I said
it was a dumb
head.
joke.
Yeah.
It's fine. That's what we do on this show. This is a show for dummies. I'm sorry. Smart people don't like us.
Our audience like that.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I love you all. I love all 8,000 of you. And Will Gluck's influences, that scene where she's in the shower making the mohawk is like right from Ferris Bueller. So I think he wanted to write his version of a Ferris Bueller, which, you know,
a lot of John Hughes.
Yes.
A lot of 80s references, a lot of John Hughes. And like, I will say, I think some people might take this as like way too cheesy the way that they do it. I know for me, I actually thought it was kind of like a really cute homage in a way of like taking those kind of tropes of stories and just incorporating them as like a sprinkle up until that end scene where we get the fist bump and everything. I thought it was cute.
Yeah.
I didn't like it, but
that's
I think
fair.
Because I think for me, it was like, it felt pretty ham-fisted, where like it didn't feel subtle enough. And then they were literally showing clips from the movies that they were referencing, because it's like, you're too dumb to understand the references, so we're going to show you the movies that were referenced.
You're too young to understand the references.
Well, high school kids in 2010, who this movie is kind of made for, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
probably wouldn't know.
think that they would have done better without it. Like, the reason that Gilmore Girls is so quippy and fun is that there's several layers of joke happening with the references, and I think a slightly better script of it or execution of it would have left out a lot of those get it ones, and just like have several layers of it, because it wasn't just it's like very clever. It's not just the John Hughes stuff, but then you also have a lot of English literature stuff. And then again, they kind of bonk you on the head with the English literature stuff. And I mean, it's fun. It works. I don't care, but I think it would have just been more clever and to treat your audience not like stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
I also wonder too, if like, it's maybe a question I can throw back at you guys. Do you think it's a kind of a consequence of the genre in itself, of like, this is like a teen comedy that usually has like its own parameters around it in some ways, but also maybe that they were just trying to do too much, like maybe they were trying to throw in too many things and then having to be like, but it makes sense, I promise, and also the character cares about it, and then it just got messy. Like, how does it read for you guys?
I mean, for me, it is too quippy, where it's like it's trying to deal with realism and have this believable story, but at the same time, every single person has like the perfect thing to say in their back pocket at all times,
Right.
which I don't always hate, but I do find it kind of obnoxious at times. I know, like there were some good moments with the family, but the family like really started to grate on me after a while where I'm like, get the fuck out of my face, perfect family. No family is like this.
No family's like that. Yeah, I agree with that. It's one of those things where I feel like he relied too much on the success of Mean Girls being quippy in the same way, but he wanted to ground it a bit. So doesn't really find a middle ground with it. It feels like the dialogue of Mean Girls with this more.
Well, it just feels like a Joss Whedon style thing, like Buffy or the Avengers or something, where like everybody is just constantly like, and they all.
Anyone read
Very
John
of the
Green?
time too.
Okay, so Gilmore Girls has the same quippiness, but that doesn't land the same way because I guess it's long form, and like I said, they're not treating you like an idiot. Mean Girls actually has punchlines, so they let you breathe. And that's what this movie doesn't let you do. It doesn't let you breathe. It just like kind of constantly comes at you. And I mean, that's, like I said, that's fine. It's just not the best way to
Yeah.
execute that for a populace. And what you were saying about, is it because it's a teen comedy? No. Like, teen comedies come of all shapes and sizes. And even look back at the John Hughes ones, like those are funny because they let you breathe. They're paced slower. I mean, some of them are absolutely terrible, but whatever. Like, I still like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Like, it's
Me too.
I still like
just, they
Breakfast
give
Club.
you a lot of space.
Yeah. This
to,
maybe it's also like maybe cramming too many story plots into one
I
one
think that
thing.
the solution would have been to lean into the humor more and make it more cartoonish, because that's why Mean Girls is so, it has such staying power and is so funny, is that it is basically like a live action cartoon show a lot of the time. Whereas this seems
one's
like
more
it's
grounded and like there's a lot of heartfelt
but it
moments.
seems
that,
like it's trying to do that, but it's not
Yeah.
doing it successfully, where it's not leaning heavily enough into the cartoonishness of it, which ends up being detrimental, because it's also, you know, those heartfelt moments would mean more, I think, if there's like crazy cuckoo stuff going on all around them. But
yeah, just let us breathe with it. Also, I found the high school. No, it is not the high school from literally anything else, but there were a lot of the students from that high school in this movie.
Oh, it's like extra background people,
extras and whatever. So yeah.
Cool.
Guys, I don't mean to keep us on rails a little bit here, but are we entering the body of the episode?
We're gonna go to the body.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're still in production.
Just
talk.
Just 1 second about that though. The soundtrack was like a pretty good soundtrack for the era.
I love this soundtrack.
Yeah, and I just wanted to shout out the soundtrack. It's not really worth like talking about, but there's a lot of good songs. And I did find
transitions well too, like between scenes. Also, the use of Bad Reputation is like perfect and iconic in its own way. Yeah, they use music really well.
And I did have one other fact that I thought was funny here. These came from Yardbarker, the listicle, so it's like, who knows if it's real, but apparently the first draft used the F word 47 times and they were going to go for like a more raunchy version. And I think a raunchier version of this might have been a little bit better, but then it's like, who's it for?
Right. Who's the audience?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, we can move on.
Then you wind up with Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Everybody back up, because here comes the body of the episode.
All right. Here we are at the body of the episode. This is where we go through the movie beat for beat for beat for beat for beat until we get to the end. Why don't we let Cass, do you want to walk us through this one, since this is your film and you seem to know it like the back of your hand?
I've seen it a lot and I do quote it on an almost weekly basis. So sure. We open up this movie with a voiceover dialogue as we're kind of looking over a high school setting. Kids are like messing around with each other. They're like walking down the hallways. Very open concept California high school. And over this imagery, we have our main character, Olive, who is our kind of narrator, also kind of seen as our friend as the viewer throughout this entire experience, as she introduces herself. The beginning of this movie as well has a little bit of that, like the cool, quirky one and like blah, blah, blah. It drops a little bit, but it's still definitely here in this opening part. Basically her saying, hey, this is me. I'm probably a little bit too witty for my own good sometimes, and I drop my books, and everything is kind of a mess, and this is high school. And I'm not really seen by anybody. I just exist here. And as soon as her dialogue kind of stops, we have her dropping her books everywhere, and we then dive into the scene where she's talking to her friend Rhiannon. And Rhiannon is not helping her pick up her books. She's just gossiping about something random that's happening. Like this date that Olive has said that she's going on to get out of going to see Rhiannon's parents because they're weird and they make her feel uncomfortable. We also have like an introduction of Mr. Griffith, who's like a huge part of this story as well. This kind of cool teacher, quote unquote. He's weird. He's very, very like deadpan humor kind of like guy who's like cool dad, but not. But clearly, yeah. Apparently also too in the original script of this, they wanted like a younger teacher that was more dorky. And I'm like, I'm so happy they didn't cast that, because there's something about this like deadpan performance of like teacher that's over it but still cares about his students that I really appreciate. And it makes it more believable that Olive and even Rhiannon, the other students, seem to dig him. Like he gets it somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Thomas Hayden Church too. I know I kept joking about how he's literally the Sandman in in Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, but he plays that character cool teacher so well in this.
It's very
he's very
believable.
funny. Yeah.
Even in like the absurdity that is this world. I also think too, like the moment we start this film, while it is grounded in some ways, it is still absurd. But I think that that does carry through and just building this world, if that makes sense. That it makes it logical, even though it's not full reality. It makes it logical and it makes sense in the world that we're in. But yeah, we have this whole kind of back and forth of Rhiannon and Olive, and we kind of to skip over a little bit because there's a lot of dialogue in here. We finally see that Olive is talking to us over a webcast, and she is giving us kind of our breakdown, a 3-act breakdown of what this story is going to be. And our first act is the rumor itself. And what has happened is she has said she's going on this date with a guy named George. So she stays home the entire weekend instead of going with Rhiannon to her parents' place and chills out and does nothing except for listen to Pocket Full of Sunshine on repeat, because that is an earworm. And
I love the fact that this whole part was funny to me because she gets this card for her birthday. It's one of those cards you open and it plays a bit of the song. First of all, it plays the whole song apparently, but also first she's like, I hate this song. The song sucks. And then through this by the end of it, she's belting it out, jumping up and down on her bed, which I think is
it's
a funny
stuck in your head.
Kind of a sight gag. Well, I put it in I put it in some of our promotional material, and then afterwards I sang it around my wife, and it's such an earworm that we were both singing it all afternoon.
I gotta fuck it. Yeah.
It's
It's
opening
good.
and closing it, and it's like I like when she's in the shower and it's in the background all melted from being wet in the shower. It's funny.
Yeah. And the Ferris Bueller moment too. I think this is also a really nice kind of motif before we dive into the insanity that is this movie and the rumors that spread. Is like, this is our first glimpse of actual Olive, of who she is. She's like maybe a little bit introverted, a little bit people pleasy. She doesn't want to like hurt anybody's feelings, but she just kind of wants to do her own thing. And that's what she does. So when she gets back to school and Rhiannon was like, how was the date with this made up guy named George? Olive was like, oh, you know, he's fine. He's cool. We had a nice time. And Rhiannon continues to pester her until finally she just says, you know what? Yeah, like we hooked up. That's the answer that you want. I'm going to tell you that. Fine. And Rhiannon celebrates this in this moment, although later on she uses it against her when Olive decides to kind of use this rumor to her advantage of taking her story back. Rhiannon pulls Olive into the washroom. Olive makes the story up on the spot. She's a virgin. She's a teenager. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's like, there were Glade candles, but like sexy Glade candles. Rhiannon's like, I'm so proud of you. And in this moment, we have Marianne, oh gosh, I can't remember her last name, played by Amanda Bynes, and she's very funny. This kind of like prudish, religious girly in the school who has like her own little religious posse, who also stopped the mascot of their school from being the Blue Devils to the Woodchucks, and it really brought down morale. Marianne comes out of the stall, overhears everything, and immediately judgmental. And she goes and tells the entire school of saying, goes and tells the entire school. Basically, like we have this montage of like texts, like people checking their phones, people whispering to each other. It spreads like wildfire. And now Olive is left in a space to deal with that and figure out how she's going to. So that's kind of where we're at. Sorry, I'm running through this. Thoughts?
The only part that I found kind of anchored was that you telling a lie about yourself in high school in order to kind of make yourself finally feel like you're at the same level as someone else who has a completely different experience from you. Like that's a, I don't know, that's a fun kind of inciting incident.
Yeah,
It's very human, especially in high school,
for
right?
sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I made up any like crazy lies about myself in high school, but I definitely did like lie about stuff all the fucking time. Um, and I don't. It's one of those things where you like self-examine like years later, and you're like, why did I do that? Like, I don't understand why I did that.
Psychology. One of the first things babies learn how to do is lie to you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm
They
just
push
a one
boundaries.
big baby then.
Yeah, they'll
I can
like
say
take a
about
cry.
my
be
infant
like-
child, he'll cry but not have his whole chest in it. He'll just go wah because he's like, give me
Look
milk
at
or
me.
whatever. Yeah.
It's very
Yep.
cat energy.
Once they realize that that's what's gonna make you look, like that's when like humans start lying.
Mhm.
Incredible.
He's already
Mhm.
lied to me. Great.
Yeah, and it's also like one of those things where you're like,
Ground him.
there's people, everyone else, not everyone, but like
There are
there's also
consequences.
lots of other people lying about stuff all the time as well, right? And it's just this big mucky stew of hormonal teenagers lying to each other. Like,
And
over
this
and
one
over
just
again.
happens to go crazy because there's the religious zealot that's there.
Well,
Yeah.
I want to say about high school kids, and especially high school kids in high school movies. They always treat every event like it's gonna ruin their life. And
This is one of the
towards
reasons
end
I
of the movie-
hate teenagers.
Yeah, she's like, my life is a mess right now, and I'm like, wait till you have to pay bills. You know, like
You
That's
don't even
fair.
have to vote yet.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, also, like, I think high school is a really interesting. So, I am a person who likes this kind of story because I think high school is such a developmental space for people. It's just like that age where you're really like testing boundaries and learning a lot of things rapidly. But I always think about like when you're a baby and you are hungry and you feel like stomach pains or you get scared, you're gonna cry and think your world is ending because it's the first time it's ever happened to you.
Yeah.
In your entire life. So obviously when you're older, you're like, oh, I have like stomach cramps because I forgot to eat until right now. It's fine. But that takes time to learn and develop and understand your own safety. And I feel like a lot of times in high school, when you're dealing with something as big as a rumor that completely shifts the world's perspective, your world, your high school world's perspective on who you are, you have no equipment to deal with that.
Mhm.
So what do? Do you lean in? Do you hide?
no,
Or you're Olive and
treat
you're really
every
witty
little-
and smart and just are perfect, I guess.
you treat every little thing that happens to you like a life-altering event, because really it kind of is a
Kind of
life-altering
is.
event. But especially what she goes through, it's a microcosm of bullying in a way. Like this is a really, like, she tries to take it back and for a minute it works, but then it snowballs. There's those like looks that she gets from people behind her back that she catches. That's the gross part of it all.
It's rough.
Where are the administrators here? Because like we're getting ahead. They pull her to guidance or whatever, but like she's being actively bullied and shamed in a way that's like,
Oh, it's crazy, Noel, because like I know we talked about how your schooling experience was so different than mine, but I'm like, I watched teachers bully students and nobody cared. Like I've seen, like nobody is going to step in unless it's literally life or death, or they're going to get in trouble. That's the only times.
Was
that's insane.
like 6,000 students, so it was absolutely massive. No administration did not even remember your name. Like they're like, we have too many kids. We don't give a shit.
Yeah,
as long as you guys aren't
absolutely.
stabbing each other, we don't care.
Stab.
Yeah.
Rule number 1 of high school.
There was
don't
a
stab.
lot of self accountability. You had to, like, if you wanted guidance, you had to seek it. You couldn't. It wouldn't just be given to you, kind of thing.
For sure.
Okay, my school had 900 students.
Most high schools are not 6,000 students. I had the largest high school in like all of Ontario.
I did go to school like in downtown Toronto in a very urban setting. So like there's just no chance that like this is Ojai. So it's like the most like woohoo part of California you could possibly be in anyway. So I do like teen stories. Like I do like YA fiction and all of that. That's fine. And I think that's why this movie, like I liked it when it came out because it's just like fun and dumb. But then if you're watching it from like, if I put my like Bechdel lenses on, it really doesn't work. And that's Like Sucker Punch was so bad that it was like, this is unequivocally bad. But this one is a little bit more like cerebral in the what I didn't like about it. But
That's fair.
You're right. Like these students, like that's teenagers, man.
They're shitty,
At the end of the world.
And then you add religion in there, and it's like they have this sort of like this higher power that they're beholden to, that they think is judging everything, so they have the ability to use that as ammunition, which is like even worse. I fortunately I don't remember there being like a lot of like religious groups in my high school, given its size, but like the primary, like my school is primarily South Asian kids. So like a lot of like Pakistani Indian kids.
Yeah.
But you know, like I think there were groups, but they weren't like super loud about it. You know, they wouldn't stand on the hill handing out flyers and stuff. I do remember one
Be
time,
like, get a different mascot. We can't worship the devil as a school.
yeah, we didn't have any of that going on.
Yeah.
I do remember there was a group of students once handing out little miniature Bibles at the school boundaries, but they weren't allowed to do it on school property, so they had to go off the property and like catch you on the way out. And I was like, I don't know how to read. Yeah. I go to this shithole school.
My elementary school had 120 people in it.
Oh my goodness. Very tiny schools. Very different experience.
The first elementary I went to had like 100 students, but then I moved into Halifax and it was a little bit more diverse. And when I went to high school, I kind of already told that story, but it was two high schools almost across the street, and one was kind of the you're cool if you go here, and the one I went to is like you're lame if you go there. You're the scholarly type.
Right.
And I was not. I was not.
No.
I was the stonerly type.
It's also interesting. Sorry, just like jumping back to Marianne Bryant is her full character name. As this like religious girly who has like her own like circle of friends that they all sing Kumbaya in a circle kind of with their guitars and then make fun of people, like a cult. And she's not portrayed as like a Regina George type popular girl. She is actually kind of hated by a lot of people, but she still has a lot of sway in like how this school runs. I don't know if it's clearly, I mean, she changed the mascot to the woodchucks, and poor Todd had to wear that really bad mascot costume, but like she's not a typical mean girl.
Yeah, she's like a she like works in the office and sucks up to the teachers, but then also the teachers just hate her because she's too much.
She's just a lot
better than everybody else.
She's a bully, but she doesn't inspire awe the way that Regina George does. She inspires ire.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Moving on? Question mark?
Yeah. Let's
where
move on.
I am. Let's move on. There's a lot to talk in here.
The next big scene, I believe, is like the family dinner where she's kind of like hinting at the fact that she's going through something, but not coming out and saying it.
Yeah, this is before the conversation with the peas. So this is the first time where she Olive is in this moment with her family and saying, hey, you know, if you guys were to vouch for me, if anybody asks, like I was here all weekend, right? I maybe in her own head, I maybe started a rumor, but I'm not going to tell you right away. And her parents are like, yeah, of course, so supportive, so funny. And this family dynamic, I think, really helps us see the world of Olive really clearly, because if her parents weren't like that, this movie would be completely unbelievable. But because both of her parents, who are named Dill and Rosemary, are just like so full of love, so supporting, and so like trusting of their own relationships and their dynamics. They're not trying to coax anything out of their daughter that she doesn't want to say, but they also know that they can trust her and that they're there if she needs it. But go and do your own thing. Anyway,
fun fact. She was supposed to have 2 more siblings that were named after food.
What's the brother's name?
Chip.
Oh,
She
almost could have been named Cilantro, and that's really tough.
So
Kale and she was supposed to have 2 more siblings named Kale and Ginger, according to IMDb.
Crazy. Stanley Tucci was the most grounding thing in this movie for me. And sorry, Cass, you keep saying like believable. I'm
I
like,
know.
there's nothing believable about any of this movie, and that's what makes it fun. Is that it's a complete like. So you and I,
I
like,
mean,
have
believable in
such a
this world, I
different.
guess.
I think that for me,
That's fine.
Yeah.
Different
for me,
opinions.
the believability comes in her ability to deal with the shit that she's going through at school because she has a supportive family like this. That makes that believable. But I don't think
Yeah.
the family is believable at all. I'm like, no
Oh, not
family
in-
on earth is like this.
Not in our reality. In the
No.
reality that this movie takes place, I believe
Yeah.
it because it
This
all
is
kind
like
of tries
Earth
to get
616 or whatever.
This no.
Okay.
I've never
Even
experienced
you-
that.
You putting it like that makes sense to me now, because like this character would not be able to force it on with an A if she didn't have that background.
Dynamic.
Right?
Yeah.
She's also,
Yeah.
I don't think we've mentioned, she's incredibly intelligent. Like she's
Oh, so
miles
smart.
away smarter than anybody in her class. Like we get hints of that. And she's like the brother is like, why are you talking like an adult or whichever to her? Like
Everybody says that to her throughout the entirety. Even in the
Yeah.
flashbacks, they're like, you talk like an adult when she's like a little kid.
Oh, with Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like it's interesting that she's developmentally so superior. Like her cranium is in a much better place than the rest of her high school things, and yet she's still internally trying to meet them where they are with the sexual whatever. Okay, dog. Okay, bye.
Sorry.
I think
feel
that
like- Sorry, go ahead.
I'm just going to continue what Noel was saying. I think it's
Yeah.
like she's intelligent, obviously in terms of like her studies, but like she's also like super well developed in terms of emotional intelligence. Like her ability to handle all of this sort of like gross behavior from all these boys and the girls and how they're treating her. She is able to take it for what it is, process it, and then put it back out and be like, this does not bother me in any way. Only when it starts to gain her attention, unwanted and violent attention, does it kind of affect her emotionally, because she doesn't care, and it's cool. It makes her cool.
It's interesting that you say that, because I thought that a little bit the first time I watched this movie too, and I think because I've watched it so many times, I pick up on a lot of the actor choice details that kind of shift and move through this movie. I thought that Olive was kind of confident from the beginning, but like in a soft-spoken way of like, not like she could have been the popular girl because of her like prowess. She is attractive, she is smart, she is witty, she is well-read. She didn't choose that life, she was just trying to be on everybody's level. But especially in the earlier scenes where Olive is trying to talk to Rhiannon and even like open up to her and say, hey, I lied to you, I'm sorry, doesn't actually get it out. Or Rhiannon making comments. The way that Emma Stone performs it sounds, the way her tone is, as confident, but her face completely gives her away, and it does bother her the entire time. And I think that's like a really cool thing about this movie. I know we were all watching it together, and I wish we had subtitles so we could like kind of do a deeper dive, but the performances given in this movie are actually really complex and very, very layered. And you don't need to see it to get the movie, but it does add a lot of depth of being like, oh no, she was bothered. She was pretending she wasn't.
I don't think I meant that she wasn't bothered by it. I think what I mean to say is that she was able to process it and not allow other people to use it as ammunition against her, where she's like, I don't care what they think, but it is affecting me.
Sorry, a different movie has this character like get suicidal and get in a mental institution. Like the amount that she's dealing with, like the way that she deals with it, with jokes, with calling someone a twat, with all of that, like I think that's what Steven's getting at, or we're both getting at with the emotional intelligence thing.
Oh, for sure. And again, like her family makes sense when you go back to the scene of her parents being like, yeah, whatever, we're gonna back you, whatever you say, but are you okay?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I got it. And they're like, okay, you give him hell,
like
kid.
It is like the idealized realization of what parents should be, or at least what we think we want, is like people who are like positive to a sickening degree, but also willing to help you do anything and will do anything to help you, rather than instill fear in you or, make you think that everything that you're doing is evil and bad and scary.
I didn't have that as a kid. I was raised primarily by my mom, and she was so frazzled from like being a single mom and having to work that anytime I came to her with like a problem in my life, she was just kind of like, you got to figure it out, man. And that thing that I was telling you about not going to like the school with my actual friends, I was trying to like convey to her that like my life is turned upside down because I'm not having the social life with these people, and it's suffering. My school is suffering, but she didn't. These parents in this movie are asking the right questions and helping Olive work through this, which is, you imagine her whole life has been like that. She's been given the tools to sort of be emotionally competent to deal with these problems. Yeah. Where from my point of view, I'm like, that's insane. The fiction. That's the fiction of this movie. Like no person I know has had a home life like this. But if you did have a home life like this, I could see why you would be a head above everybody else, because all the people that she's surrounded by at this school probably have a broken home, or your parents are so hippy dippy and stoned out of their tree like Rhiannon's parents, that you don't really have this, like, you're not grounded in reality in the same way.
I think that's like a big like note for this movie is the privilege that Olive has. That sucks.
Yeah. But it's fun. It's fun to see, and it's there's a concept I was kind of let to see, that there's competence porn. Have you heard of this? Where people like competence porn. People like to watch procedural lawyer dramas because the lawyer comes in and just will just
get it done.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like
whoever coined it, that needs to be stopped. And put in a prison.
You should. That's a watch list for sure.
Well, porn doesn't always mean pornography, like sexual pornography. It can just be
I'm aware, but you can just call it. You can just say people like watching competent people.
Yeah,
this is competence porn.
Yeah, but it takes it to that next.
I'm addicted.
It's putting the label
to
on
that
it.
next level. Yeah.
Dog barking can't talk.
Like in Daredevil, for instance, Daredevil is a great example. In the Daredevil TV show, he comes in as a blind lawyer, and he always kills it as a lawyer.
Daredevil's blind?
What? Yeah, and then he'll do some shit where he reveals he's Daredevil, and everybody stands up and claps.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
I started a slow clap, like actually at Rogers Stadium at a Jays game. Anyway, not the point. There was something else I was going to say, but then I had to pat myself on the back. Has anyone ever read any John Green novels? He does this where everyone's so quippy and everyone's so smart, and people love his novels because they make them, like, as children or teens, you read them and it makes you feel smarter that you're reading about these smart people. So I completely understand what you mean by competence porn. So
for sure.
I wasn't confused by the term. I just think it's a gross term.
That's not what I meant. I meant like
I know. I'm just joking.
I
get
don't
it.
like it as much.
I understand why it exists.
Yeah, no, and I mean, there's a reason that it is so popular, right? And has been popular since like the 80s as sort of a standardized way of like, this is how characters must interact in television. This isn't how they interact in real life, because that's boring. If you make people talk the way we talk in real life, everything is boring.
Yeah.
But everybody has something smart.
A lot of times for comedies, like it's just people like talking normally, and it's not always.
But even that is not realistic as well. It's everything is sort of a heightened or subdued version of reality, and
it's a storytelling thing.
Yeah, I don't mind it in certain settings. In this movie, like her interactions with Beaver Boy, they came off. They came off as just like
Lobster Todd, Woodchuck Todd.
Sure, yeah, all of the above. It just comes off as obnoxious to me, and I'm like, this movie is like, look how smart I am, and I'm like, this is making me feel dumb. But again, I understand why people like it.
To this day, I still, whenever I say la vie and Chad's in the room or anywhere around me, he will say la vie back to me. And I'm like, correct. That's exactly what you say. Say la vie. La vie.
La vie.
Good joke.
I got it. I understood.
Yeah.
Let's get back on track with the story.
Let's do it.
Where were we?
Oh, parents are like kind of finding out basically nothing, but Olive's trying to cover her own butt.
And then we get a full recap of the movie of the movie
Scarlet
Letter. She
Scarlet Letter,
explains
yes.
fully. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're learning about or they're reading this book in class, and she does the whole monologue of, isn't it ironic that what we're learning in class is what's happening and really relevant to our real life? And this is where she gets a comment from one of Marianne's, I don't know, groupies, the religious groupies, saying, wait, no, it can't be, because that's when she has her outfit on. Are we that far ahead?
No, it's she talks about the Scarlet Letter in the video, and then it goes back to class, and they're talking about the Scarlet Letter.
You're right. But this is just because the rumors have been spreading. So Marianne's friend is like, oh, you like, I can't remember exactly. Oh, you should paint like an A on your clothes, you whatever insult. And then Olive claps back with something that I won't say because I don't have the quote up here.
Twat.
And immediate, just like quippy in it, and obviously it gets sent to the principal's office because you can't say that. Apparently you can dress in a corset, but you can't say that. And so she goes to the principal's office. The principal is played by Michael McDowell, who's very funny in this movie for his one scene that he really has lines.
Yeah.
Where he's basically saying, like, you're in detention, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm keeping the girls off the pole and the boys off the pipe. So just get in line.
He's also like, I don't think I've ever met you before. Who the hell are you? Why am I hearing about this now? This is foul. Like he hates
because Olive's
so
been
much.
a good kid too.
Yeah.
Like Olive has never gotten in trouble. This is the first time, and somebody poked the bear and it went roar.
This is the kind of thing that at my school, you call somebody a twat, nothing's gonna happen.
No.
Nothing will happen at all.
In fact, when we were watching the movie, later in the movie, it's reiterated what she said. I thought she said the C word.
The one with the C.
Yeah,
I
misremembered it. Yeah,
this movie would not have.
No. I think honestly, if they were able to get away with saying that word once in this movie, that's the word I think they wanted to use because it has that level to it. Also, giving even like more of an insight of the power of Marianne and like her friends of what they have in the school. I don't know if like their parents are super rich and they like give a lot of money to the school or something, but they get somebody is mad at them or is pokes back, the other person's going to get in trouble.
Yeah,
he's a pastor. It's footloose.
Oh, right. Yes. The other thing too is as Olive is going to the principal's office, quick note because it is important, she sees a kid coming out of the principal's office who we later know as Brandon. He is bleeding from the nose and he has just clearly gotten in trouble as well, but looks like somebody who got beaten up. And that's just a little bit of a insight for what we're about to see later as Olive does go back home, talks to her parents, spells out the word twat with her P's because her parents are like, don't say it out loud in front of your child sibling, spell it with your P's. Very funny scene. And then we kind of dive into detention world where Olive for like, I guess the past maybe couple days has been a little bit leaning into this whole floozy facade, as it's called. She's like wearing wedges.
Floozy facade was my drag
mopping
name. Nice.
floors.
That's a good drag name, actually.
I like it. And during this time, Brandon, who was the kid who got punched in the face by a bunch of homophobes off screen, is also in detention with her. And they start to bond over a couple days of doing detention together and both kind of being outcasts in their own way. And also like both pretty intelligent, but in their own, they have like a difference of opinion a lot of times, which is really cool to see in their dynamic. And they kind of poke a little bit at each other, but they're in similar boats while they're still their own, if that makes sense, of a high school seeing you as other or different or something to pick on or bully.
Yeah. It's for me, it's like it's very basic stuff. I don't really like the representation in this movie, but it's fine. It's not like super offensive. It's just, to me, it's a little clumsy.
Didn't age great.
It's just it's almost like a throwaway piece of the plot. Like he arrives just for this purpose, to perpetuate the rumor, and to remove the rumors of himself, and then he just vanishes for the rest of the movie. He's gone now.
I think also that's like a kind of flaw in the way that this movie is done with its storytelling, because it's so Olive focused. Everything in her world is about her story, right? Because through the webcast, we're hearing everything through her eyes.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where we are. But with Brandon specifically, him being the first one to, as we'll get to probably in a little bit, of asking for help, I guess, of using whatever status Olive now has as a trollop or a harlot or whatever you want to call it, who just maybe slept with a guy from community college. He is the instigator, the starter of what ends up happening, of Olive being a bleeding heart for people and using whatever is kind of degrading her reputation, but trying to uplift others with it, because she already is a little bit given up in a way, but she wants to help people. Anyway, I think Brandon's a cool character to start with, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting way to get the story going. I just feel like him vanishing afterwards feels wasted to me. I know it's not his story, and I understand that, like, he's not really important to the rest of it, but I don't know. It just felt like he was a prop and not much more.
Yeah, no, I get
It's
that.
interesting. It's interesting that this doesn't, like, there's a lot of characters, but it's not, for a high school movie, it's not like about a group. It's about one person specifically, which a lot of high school movies will have, like, that inner circle. So I see what you're saying, Steve, where Brandon could have had a much bigger role, and I didn't even, like, put together that he just kind of disappears from the movie, and he's so integral in this opening bit.
Yeah, he's the one who starts the transactional whole deal.
He runs away though pretty quickly in the movie.
He does, but, like, it's like, okay.
So he's
the
like,
also movie made him do that. Like, he didn't have
It's
to
also,
run away.
and
that's what I mean, like, written out. It's
Yeah.
just like he gets yeeted out of the plot the way that a woman usually gets during, like, a fight
The
scene.
fridge
Like,
or whatever.
Yeah.
The fridge, yeah.
It's really interesting too, because the writer, like the screenwriter of this movie, openly gay man, and he talked about in some interviews how Brandon was his self-insert character in this story, that he really related to Brandon, which is why, like, I think that's maybe the first interaction.
Which
There's
is
a lot of
even more
heart between Emma's, right? But I'm like, then
It
why
makes it
write
more
yourself off?
surprising. I'm like, because
Yeah.
you know, I am of the opinion that, like, you know, just because somebody is gay doesn't mean that they're, you know, infallible or, like, immortal in terms of, like, writing
No.
shit that's problematic. And I find this to be, I don't think it's homophobic and I don't think it's problematic, but I just don't think it's good. And that's the issue that I have with it. I think that it is doing something that's important, which is normalizing a gay kid being, like, not exactly what you would imagine a gay kid to be, especially at the era, in the era that the movie was made. But it like I said before, I think the best word is clumsy. I just feel like it's clumsy and it's not done well.
he's extremely tropey. Like, this is the gay character, except we're having a slightly different type of conversation with him and how we're interacting with him in the movie than how the exact same character would be treated as, like, the gay best friend. It's the same character, the same archetype, and there's nothing empowering happening with that character at all. In fact, he's some of the most problematic stuff, like the stuff that surrounds him is the most problematic of this whole movie, and it's actually
I forgot
kind of
about
disappointing.
that. I forgot
It's
about
actually
that
rather
bookend.
disappointing the way that
I agree, but, you know, again, I think it's also doing some important work. But yeah, for me, I was just kind of like, I don't feel connected to this character. I don't feel any sort of kinship with him, other than the fear of being found out as a queer kid in high school. That's the only thing that was relatable to me. It felt very tokenized, and it just felt sort of like a prop. He didn't feel he felt like he was placed specifically in at this point just to do this, and then he was taken away.
the gay kids in my high school weren't bullied.
I mean, they weren't really
what?
bullied in my high school yet either, but most of them were not obviously gay. So It wasn't until well after high school that we all were like, "You're gay too? Me too." Damn.
No way.
I mean, the openly gay kids were bullied.
I know what you meant. There were none.
Yeah,
in high school. There was like
so
maybe
weird.
one.
There were no real like openly gay kids in my life in high
Because
school.
you usually are scared to
to
be openly gay as a gay person. Because
That's probably why there were openly gay kids at my high school. Even in middle
there was
school,
safety there.
actually.
Yeah.
geez, and all went to this magical high school where nobody punched each other in the dick.
Sounds so lovely.
My high school was okay. It wasn't bad. There wasn't a lot of bullying that happened, but I mean, there was bullying that happened, but it wasn't directed in my direction. So I guess
it was always like a kid would do a thing, and then he was known as that. Like, there's this one kid who we called ripped pants because his pants were ripped one time. And
you guys are so creative.
Years later, he was like, "My name's Kevin." To me, I was like, "What's up, RP?" And he's like, "It's Kevin."
He didn't like that nickname, Jason.
Yeah, sorry, man.
It's not the worst nickname though. It could be called like diarrhea or something. That'd be much worse.
Yeah.
I was definitely the weirdest kid in my entire high school.
Well, you're the weirdest kid in this entire podcast.
Yep.
I thought it's a nail file. I thought you were brandishing scissors suddenly.
A knife.
Oh my god.
Where are we in the story? I guess
We're
they
in
get
detention.
right? And then
We have
mopping.
They start to bond, and Olive finally tells Brandon, the only person she's told, really, that everything is a lie. And she didn't sleep with the college guy, and it's all made up. And Brandon kind of calls her out on it and is like, that's really messed up that you're perpetuating this whole thing. Like, I don't really understand. High school is hard enough. And Olive is kind of coming from this of a perspective of either lean in and don't care what people think about you, or you're gonna get run over. This is, I think, a false confidence from her. But Brandon is kind of getting this vibe from her as she's saying, like, yes, I'm pretending. No, this didn't happen. But like, I'm surviving. And that's what I'm doing. So what else am I going to do? Am I going to fall over or like be glued to a couch for a couple of weeks? Maybe. Or am I just going to be here and say, yeah, I'm wearing my wedges and I have like a gold chain and a cute little black tank top and they can call me whatever they want. And it kind of gets into this whole suggestion from Olive of kind of telling Brandon, like, you can just like pretend. You can pretend to be whoever you want to be. And from Brandon's perspective, as a gay kid who is not able to kind of mask in a way that can fly under the radar, he doesn't have that option. And so from there, we kind of get into, I hope I'm not crossing over anything crazy, but I think basically from there, we go into Brandon coming over to Olive's house to say hi. Yes.
There's the sequence with Olive and Rhiannon sitting on the hilltop.
Oh, bit. Yes. This sucks to see as just like girl to girl moment of having a best friend that is not listening to you, that does not care, and is really just like painting a picture of you without actually knowing you. I don't think it's in that way. I heard in the original script, there was supposed to be kind of a mention. It's just in the cliff notes of Rhiannon possibly just having a crush on Olive her entire life. And I kind of like that because it might justify a bit more of her jealousy, of her like protectiveness, but then also the competitive aspect. And I really wish that could have been explored in this because it would have made it make more sense.
That would have been so much better.
Right? Unfortunately, it's 2010. So
yeah. I mean, you already had a gay kid, but I really wanted to go back to him for a minute, like the he just wants to fly under the radar because he can't exist as he is. That is the worst message like messaging a movie could give you. And although I understand it, and his like little crying thing is like heartfelt and whatnot, it is also the most like passing as like cis het because you're white. Like he has something that he like that a person of color would not be able to just like pretend that they are not. Like it's a very
it's like a privileged position.
That's what it is.
Course,
like it's
a lot
very
of privilege.
very privileged position, and maybe that's why that character rubbed me the wrong way, because it's just like I don't understand the messaging here, and it just seems like I don't know.
It's pretty suppressive, and it's sad because like he's like clearly meant to be suppressing stuff, right? Like he's trying to act differently than he is. This is another problem I had with that character, is that he, to me, did not seem to be suppressing anything. He was just telling us that he was. We didn't see it really. There was nothing.
Except for him having a bloody nose after getting beaten up by homophobes.
No, but I'm talking like, I'm saying that like nothing about him seems gay to me, unless he's like forcing it out in secret. And it's like, I feel like we just needed more evidence of it and have like a show don't tell moment, because like the only evidence that we get is him saying that that's what he has to do, and we don't actually see any of it happening other than, like you say, the bloody nose. But like that's not him suppressing anything, that's him getting punched in the face by a couple of homophobic dickheads. Anyway, I don't want to rag on this character anymore. I feel like we've made the point pretty clear.
I just wanted to talk about the privilege piece.
Absolutely. Totally fair. And I think like just to very quickly before I kind of dive back into the like where we are in the body yada of the episode, I think this is again why I wanted to choose this movie for Feminist Movie Month, is because there are so many feminist movies that are like, I don't know, like the hero of the story is the feminist hero, and we get to watch them get justice. We get to watch them like beat the bad guys and like do whatever they're going to do, and they're going to look badass doing it the entire time. This movie is not that. This movie is, at least to me, an insight of like a fly on the wall for a viewer to say, this is what's kind of currently happening. Maybe not in the same realistic way, because nobody has parents like that. But this is what's happening in reality. Be present for it. And when you leave this theater, I hope that you feel a little uncomfortable, because you are kind of a viewer in this with us. And there is no resolution, and it's just a reflection of what's happening. And we still do get joy from it. We still do get an empowering message from this main character, but it doesn't change the culture of patriarchy. It doesn't defeat the bad guy. That's on us now as the audience to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Is that crazy?
I think that why I liked this movie when I first watched it was because it literally was just stupid fun that was completely fantasy. And that's what I liked about it. So I like what you're saying, like, I love it for you. But
no, it's fair. No, it's totally fine.
It's okay. Like Cass, you took something pretty huge out of it, and it spoke to you in a way, and people who didn't relate to it in that way, like pretty much the rest of this panel, we all found things we liked about it. I think like I genuinely like the quippiness of it, which also feeds into what Noel was saying with like kind of the fantasy elements. But there is something very real about you being in a depressive state and kind of going through what all of us going through in real life, sitting up and being like, I'm gonna kind of change my perception. Now, you didn't create a rumor mill about you doing what Olive does in this.
You don't know that.
Find out.
Cass has not gone into details.
I watched the rest of the movie and realized that she trapped herself in her own prison, and I was like, I'll just skip that part because that sounds like a bad time.
No jail for me.
I'm good. No, also like sorry, when I come out with like just a little bit of like deeper thought about this, it's only because I think it's important to discussion. You guys can have all of your own opinions on this, and I'm not going to take that personally. That's totally fine. But I just think, especially from me being younger and this movie coming out while I was in high school, this is how it impacted kind of that time of generation of people, if that makes sense. So I just want
to The Matrix came out when I was in high school, and I was laying on my couch, and as soon as he went into the Matrix, I sat up, and the next day I went to school in a black duster and started telling everybody that
I love that for you.
This moon isn't real. So
you kept hanging out. You were handing out pills to people, and they're like, "This fucking kid's a drug dealer." And then you were expelled. And had to go to adult high school.
Exactly. That's the real reason.
Well,
hey guys, I have a question for you. Why destroy patriarchy?
Well, patriarchy bad.
Patriarchy bad.
For everybody. For all of us. It's bad.
Including men,
Yeah. Where were we?
I think this is right around when they make the deal to bone at the party so that everybody thinks that Brandon's straight. They go to Melody Bostick's. They pretend they're drunk. They go into a bedroom and they make a bunch of noises to make it sound like they're having rough sex.
Yeah. Olive basically is like, I'll do it for you. I've made all like this whole plan. Immediately when she goes into the bedroom too, she's like in mission mode, like going from pretending to be drunk in mission mode. Close the blinds. We're doing this. You need to be believable. If this is what you want, deal with the consequences of it. But I'll do this for you because I see that you're hurting. And I think also she's a character that's been hurt in her life at some point. I mean, she's obviously hurt that her best friend is kind of a mean girl to her. Something. They do this whole pretend performance thing. Everybody at this big party, this big house party, is listening outside the door, and Brandon walks out immediately, is just gifted something because Olive gave part of her reputation up for it. And that's a lot of this movie, is Olive constantly losing her own reputation points because she is trying to uplift others and doesn't think it matters until it really does. So Brandon is now, I guess, seen as a straight guy because he, in make-believe world, banged a woman. Olive walks out of that room with her head held as high as she can until she runs into Todd, who is her OG crush of basically her entire life. They went to school their entire life together. And Todd sees her and is very aware of what's going on behind her. A lot of guys making like movements and gestures that are really gross. And it seems like Todd actually wants her to like talk about it. Like he wants her to open up, and he's giving her space, but being there. And Olive decides to leave the party instead because that sucks. And then we get a flashback to Todd and Olive back in, I don't know, grade 9 or something, where they were playing Spin the Bottle. And it was going back to the very first time that she ever had to lie for someone. And it was Todd, because when Todd was a kid, he didn't want the other kids to know that he didn't kiss her because he was nervous. Mm-hmm. And Olive said, yeah, of course I'll lie for you. And this really like builds our understanding of Olive as a character and her caring of other people. But yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in like middle school. Spin the
something
bottle,
like that.
Stuff. I was the Todd in that situation. I'm like, I don't want to kiss anybody.
But also like don't tell them we didn't, because like then they're gonna think I'm lame or like not cool.
I was like, no, I'm not kissing anybody.
He's also an interesting character in this movie too, because like from seeing him then to seeing him how he is as like mascot Todd, who's just a goofball and like doesn't care what people think, and not in an edgy way, just in a people are people and I'm just going to live my life. I want nothing to do with that. I wish I had more of like a growth story from him, but it is cool to see the difference of him then being the grounding person for Olive all these years later.
He also, to me, feels like his character is just mascot costumes. Like he doesn't seem like a developed character at all.
I like him. He's probably.
I don't dislike him, but I just am like, what is his personality? I don't really know.
Yeah. Again, I think it's like a crux of the film itself. Is it's through Olive's eyes, so it's whatever she sees.
Yeah, but it's easy to hand wave things away. when that's the case. But
Yeah. Well, I'm not
I
saying like hand wave. I just think it sucks. I wish I had more information too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about the bedroom sequence. All of them, I mean, there's a certain level of subversion that the movie does where like you think that he's gonna be like, ugh, gross, and then like not want to be in her life anymore. But the movie doesn't do that, which I'm like, okay, it's not doing the low-hanging fruit stuff at least.
No.
And she doesn't seem particularly bothered by it either. I mean, clearly she's bothered by it, but like she's willing to do it, and she's like, ugh, these people are so stupid. But that's it. But then she, like, her downtroddenness comes directly through Todd, because she's like, oh, I didn't consider the fact that like everybody's gonna know now, including this person that I care about,
That I respect too.
that I respect.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then Brendan buys her a dildo or something, doesn't he?
Yep. As a thank you gift, he just sends her a thing of like, thank you for doing this, and like here's a gift card to something that she actually wanted, and then threw in like this kind of joke gift of like a also you can go F yourself or whatever. And like I don't know, I feel like this kind of relationship like that, or that kind of specific joke moment, reminds me of like me and one of my very close friends who is also a gay man. Like we would joke with each other like that very earnestly, so I don't see it as anything other than that, only because of my own experience. But yeah, Olive kind of feels like good, like she uplifted someone for a second, and she celebrates with her dog. And then we cut back to, I think, Rhiannon calling Olive on the phone about the party? Question mark?
Before that, when the mom is talking to Olive, she's kind of relating to her in an interesting way. It's not quite the scene later where she's like, I was a bit of a slut, but it is sort of like, I kind of know what you're going through, and they kind of have a nice moment there with that before she opens.
Oh yeah, she's like, oh, your boyfriend who is clearly gay, and
Clearly
Olive's like,
gay,
yeah,
yeah.
clearly gay, and she's like, it's okay, I dated a gay man once, that's fine, like everybody does their thing. And then later on, Stanley Tucci walks into the bedroom and is like, it's fine, I was gay once, and I'm like, these two married each other and had all this is the same relationship, which is very funny.
Yeah, but there's the conversation on the phone where Rhiannon's freaking out about the situation.
Yeah,
and then
remember at the beginning she was celebrating her friend to be like, wow, you did it, you're amazing, and now she's like, ew, everybody thinks you're a tramp.
Yeah,
gross. How
and
quickly the turntables.
She's like, well, if everybody thinks I'm a tramp, I'm going to dress like one.
So then we get the montage of her putting A's on all of her corsets,
like a Catwoman.
That's very me energy.
She's making her Catwoman costume.
That's when we get the best line from Stanley Tucci. I know you're not having sex in here because your boyfriend is clearly a homosexual.
Yeah.
Well,
that's okay. Everyone's
that
gay.
Whole scene,
I was gay.
I was gay once. It's fine.
It's fine.
It
Stanley
happens.
Tucci, at least, like, he knows what the fuck's going on. Where he's like, I know what I'm in. This is fine.
Yeah.
I was gay once. It's fine.
There's something about I've had this discussion with a friend of mine who also very much loves this movie. Actually, my friend who I was just talking about. And one of our biggest things that we kind of talked about recently about this parenting dynamic is that the parents are not intervening. They really are like giving space. And part of me is like, maybe you should have dug a little bit deeper because clearly your kid's going through something. And then I had to kind of roll back and really consider, I mean, I'm probably giving too much to it because I've just thought about it a lot. Clearly this family actually just does trust each other, because even in this moment with Stanley Tucci and Emma Stone of him being like, are you okay actually? And she does this eye roll of, yeah. And he just says, just give him hell, kid. And that's it, because they do have that trust. If she really needed help and thought she was trapped, she wouldn't, like, she would actually go and get that support, which is nice. I don't know.
Yeah,
Unrealistic.
I think it also like instills confidence in her, right? Where she's like, they believe in me, and if they didn't, they would probably do something about it, right?
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know if is the most healthy way of parenting, but I mean, because like unlimited freedom as a teenager, I can tell you firsthand.
Also not great.
Not great. As long as I maintained like an A level of grades in school, I never was
An
questioned.
easy A?
Nothing was ever questioned. I could do anything, and it was not great for me developmentally. But I kept those A's up.
Get those A's up.
I was doing a lot of shit. Then we get more Jesus time with the guy who's like, I've been running for class president for the last 15 years or whatever. The guy who looks like he's a
he's like
45-year-old.
22 years old and hasn't graduated.
Yeah. I don't remember
and
what this conversation is about. What is it about? They're like,
it was just about like I think Marianne was having this whole thing of saying like, oh, we're praying for Olive, but we also want to get her out of here. And it's and like a bit more of that gossip train party. Rhiannon. Oh yes, this is because we have this whole bad reputation montage that happens, and Olive is now going to school in her corsets with her A on it in Noel's background, and so this is kind of sparking even more controversy. More people are getting involved. Olive is coming into this image like me with my cherry red trench coat and my high-heeled boots, saying, if you're going to paint me as this, then go right ahead. I will lean in hard. And she kind of officially breaks up with Rhiannon as a friendship and tells her to get lost.
And forms this sort of de facto friendship with Marianne, weirdly.
For one day.
Yeah, later on.
For a day, yeah.
For a single day.
Yeah.
Things
I don't
were
even think
good.
it was a full day either. It's like 2/3 of
almost.
a day. Yeah.
Then what's next? I think we start like the full rumor mill. Like we start going to cycle, I believe.
Yeah.
Of other people hearing what
they're trying to destroy her, and at the same time, more and more guys are showing up to ask for favors, pretend favors.
Aren't they like picketing against her at this point?
I think so. Yeah, they're like they're trying to bring her down by spreading the rumors even more and like perpetuating the fact that she's. I think they use the word whore, and I'm like, oh
yeah.
Yeah,
God bless everyone, even the whores and the homosexuals, but like they make it so hard because they just keep doing it all the time.
Amanda Bynes.
I think also this scene specifically with Amanda Bynes is also just showing off the Micah guy who we need later in the story with the guidance counselor. That's literally all I think it's meant for.
The device. We need a older, legally, like a legal aged teenage.
It needs to be legal.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I think
they did that. It would be too much if it was like also he's underage.
That would be too much. That would be too much. We go kind of like cut to like the pool. Olive is starting, I think, like her second act in her webcast that we're kind of still brought into with her narrative in the background. And she is now kind of fully owning this facade completely. She's got an A written on every single piece of clothing that she owns. She's wearing clothes that are 2 sizes too small for her. She is in a space of not caring, but still very much caring because this is a performance as well. And we see her walking by the pool. Todd is in the pool and he's shirtless and Penn Badgley, so that's tough. And they just have this cute little exchange until Todd leaves. They do the C'est la vie thing. And this other random kid walks up to Olive and is like, hey, I heard what you did for Brandon. Can you do it for me? And she says no. And he says, well, I mean, I could just say that you did because, I mean, you already have a reputation, which is incredibly disgusting and gross. And she's like, are you threatening me? And he says, well, no, I don't know. And then immediately pulls out the waterworks of like, nobody talks to me. I don't like I don't have friends. Girls don't like me. I'm like gross. And I guess that's just going to be my life. And he pulls on her emotional threads so aggressively. And clearly this character is very, very empathetic and has always been. It's very, very through line. And she caves, just like she did with Brandon, just like she did with Todd. back in the day. And she says, okay, fine. I can say that you did this, this, and this. We did not have sex, but like, you're getting me a gift card.
Yeah.
And this kind of starts this whole spiral of stuff. And I think one of the most like standout moments, especially the first time I was watching this, was Olive just looking at him and being like, you know what? If you asked me out on a proper date, I probably would have said yes. And he's like, will you? And she's like, no. Like, what do you mean?
Not now.
Are you not listening to me? Absolutely not now. But you could have. You could have been a good guy from the beginning and you weren't. So at least I'll get something out of it, I guess. And you're welcome. And it's tough.
Mm-hmm. And then we have a bit of a montage of her doing this with other guys
Lots
as well,
of people.
capitalizing on just via only gift cards, I believe. I don't think there's any cash exchange.
I like the conceit that the gift cards get progressively worse and worse. It's kind of funny. It's
Bath and
terrible.
Body Works 15% off coupon.
Yeah.
And then later it wasn't one just like a Home Depot.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, AutoZone. There was the AutoZone. It was like, you gave me an AutoZone car.
Yeah.
And the one for the foreign movie theater.
Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think like again, this is kind of in montage form until it gets really bad in a little bit. It's very much showing how what could have been an empowerment move to say, okay, sure, I'll be the Scarlet Letter like we're reading in class. Paint me as it. I'll own it. Then again, is still performance, still puts her in a prison that she still has to escape later on in the movie, is telling her full truth, which is tough. Poor thing.
Yeah.
What's next?
We have the scene where she's talking to Flint Marco, the Sandman, and he's just he's sort of like gently prodding around the situation without questioning it directly. Just basically being a good mentor figure, I suppose. And she's
at least
not
checking in.
Yeah, and he's doing similar to what her parents do, where he's just kind of like confronting it, but indirectly, and giving her the space to open up if she wants to. She doesn't really, but she's like, I'm gonna take care of this thing, don't worry. And then an hour into the movie, we're introduced to Lisa Kudrow. I'm like, oh, forgot you were in this.
Yeah,
movie should have introduced you a while ago, I think maybe.
These two teachers are just guidance counselor and teacher are just dating, or they're
married.
They are married because they don't. The way that they break up later felt just like two people breaking up. It didn't seem like it blew their lives up the way it should have. The payoff.
I think there's a moment where he takes off his ring or something and leaves it on the table as she walks past while he's like listening to the webcam. I think, but I could be making that up in my head.
I don't remember,
but I'm pretty sure.
But there's an implication that their marriage has been kind of shaky
rocky
as of late. And then there's the fact that she's fucking one of the students.
Yeah.
Gross. Real gross.
Yep. Gross. I will say though, like as gross as obviously that entire like character's thing is, it's not really not cool. That performance is incredible. Like I will give props to all of the actors in this movie. Like they really do crush.
Yeah, I think even the smaller roles, I don't think anybody's turning in a bad performance in this movie.
No, they commit, and I respect that.
Even like Little Brother and the chocolate bar guy, like I'm like, these guys are like, they're believable. I believe that like they are the characters in this crazy universe.
Very much so.
And then we have the guidance counselor sequence where she's like, I know what's going on. Here's a fistful of condoms. My favorite Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and also not listening to Olive too. It's like, no, it's not. I seriously don't need these.
For a few condoms more. And it's the kind of the complete opposite of everybody in her life who is an adult figure is giving her guidance indirectly and I think wisely, and then the actual guidance counselor who's supposed to be is like, I don't believe anything you said. Take this handful of condoms and get out of my office. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I think it's also like this is a big thing about this movie that I know can be very disappointing for like a feminist view critic lens of a lot of the antagonists of this movie for Olive are also women. And I hear that and I see it. For me, I actually kind of like that that's shown. This isn't like a boys versus girls movie. It isn't a like all the men are bad and like that's it. It's everybody is a subject to the patriarchy and everybody can be a misogynist, and just because you are a woman it doesn't make you a feminist right at the bat. Like we have the patriarchy showing up in other people that are not your like stereotypical guys that are giving gift cards because they can just have their popularity raised while Olive's plummets. It's also the women, and it's not all of them, but that is real. Like women also are at fault at this because we all are in the system.
I think if it wasn't for the mom character in this movie, I would have a bit more issue with Lisa Kudrow's character because it's showing almost like no female guidance outside of the mom, adult figure, I should say. But I mean, even the mom, like a lot of her advice is just almost like purely based around sex, which is okay. But she is sort of like kind of sprinkling other stuff in there as well. But most of it is like punchliney. And this is like the movie's opportunity to introduce another woman who can be a mentor, but immediately she's also, you know, an antagonist towards Emma Stone's character. Good.
I would have less of a problem with it if this wasn't such a trope and a common thing that like movies just do this where the women are bitchy to each other and the boys come in as allies like this.
It felt kind of weird to me that almost every male character in this movie outside of the like horny teen at the Red Lobster is treated with like this reverence where they're like, I'm here to save you, or I'm here to be a thing that you crave, or I'm a thing that you desire, or I'm like a pathetic loser that you're helping. It's just kind of strange to me because I'm like, I don't know. I get that like in this particular time of a lot of women's lives in high school, the idea of like women being the enemy is a thing that exists everywhere. They're all kind of combative with one another.
Unfortunately, it still is as an adult, and I see it all the time. I just choose not to interact with
so there's
it.
like there's a slice of truth in there, but like having the men be these sort of like ghosts that exist around you that are giving you solemn advice.
It perpetuates it. Like these kinds of narratives perpetuate the, I don't know, patriarchy stuff.
For sure.
Well, wait, question. What are the men in this movie that are giving solid advice that are like, I'm thinking like Wise Man when we watched Sucker Punch last week, and I was like, that's clearly icky and gross.
Flint Marko is basically that same character in this movie, except he's not.
Stanley
But he
Tucci
doesn't get
a little
involved.
bit. A little bit.
It's still all
the
Olive's
kindness,
point of
like
view.
Woodchuck Todd, like the like even though they're just kinder to her than the women are.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like that's why like maybe it's not as obvious to me as like it's just kindness, and I wasn't thinking about like the gender of it when I was watching it because I just kind of view people as people. But again, when we're looking at this through a feminist lens, it's like okay, I can see where that can come in.
Like perfect, basically, except for the one that tries to force himself on her.
Teacher, dad, Todd. Everybody else is mostly not good, but the girls are even more limited.
But I mean, when I say good, I mean like they're not evil, and like the kid with the chocolate bar, like he makes a threat, but then it's revealed immediately within the same scene that he's a sad loser. Like that just he's like,
I don't care about that. That like that's the thing is like there's a level in this movie too where I think maybe I just see past the what's the word? Like the goading into empathy. That is a villain to me. That kid is a villain. Even though he has a sad story, he also later has a chance to help Olive. And he says, no, sorry, I'm getting girls now. So that guy sucked from the beginning. He just used her empathy to get him.
But I'm saying like, but what I mean to say is that like all of the people in her life that are providing her with validation and kindness are men, and everybody else is an evil woman trying to bring her down, including her best friend. But what I mean to say like this, I keep wanting to call him Neil for some reason. I don't know why. The chocolate
Does he
bar
remind
kid.
you of young Neil from
Chocolate kid.
Scott Pilgrim?
No. He reminds me of Neil from Community, actually. I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, the repugnant kid.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't want to put the first part in there. We all know
Sorry.
who Neil is.
It's Neil.
He even says like, I'm the only Neil. Like, why do you guys keep calling me Fat Neil? So anyway, I forget what I was gonna say, but I think that like the patriarchy is alive and well in this movie, and it's unfortunate because I don't think that it does enough to like show the disgusting behavior of men outside of like, I mean, that the Neil character, like, he is pathetic to me. That like he's doing shitty things, but it is revealed to me that he is pathetic. He's not evil, he's pathetic. And when he has the opportunity to be a good guy, he doesn't take it because he's pathetic, and he knows that he's pathetic. And if he relinquishes that ability that he's gained, he will go back to being pathetic. And then I don't even know what the other guy's name is, but Red Lobster pervert. Like that's just he's
Micah,
like
Rhiannon's ex-boyfriend, because they break up.
But he's like introduced hella late into the movie as a prop, and then he is then in that scene a prop, and then he is a prop that turns on the prop master.
He is there like earlier because like it's the
he's standing there
first day in her corset.
But but that's
she's like my name is an anagram for I love. It's just to set up the fact that Rhiannon and him are together, and that's it.
But that's an hour into the movie. Like,
I didn't. When he showed up, I was like, "Who the fuck is this?"
Yes,
you
me too.
have to explain to me,
me too.
who he was.
This guy?
I've seen this movie too many times, guys. Clearly.
So he basically shows up in that scene just so that he can be in the scene later. This movie, a lot of the script feels like it was written in 5 days, like Jason was saying, where it's like, and then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. Oh, I need a shitty guy. Oh, okay, it could be this girl's boyfriend. Okay, now she has a boyfriend, and now he's a pervert.
For sure. It's kind of like a longer 48-hour film fest kind of vibe.
Sure,
like write something quick, and then
it almost felt like they were like writing as they shot kind of thing, where it's like, oh, we need something here. Oh, let's just put in a shitty boyfriend character. So I mean, where are we at? We're in the Lisa Kudrow sequence, and then this is when she finally relents and becomes friends with Amanda Bynes, right?
Yeah.
King of the Goofballs.
Yes.
Amanda Bynes is so funny. I think she's
her comedic timing is incredible.
She just has like amazing facial expressions that she does, and just her body movement is very goofy and funny as well.
There's a really good moment. There's a really good moment during that sequence where they're in shop class and she puts her hand down and Olive moves her hand out of the way with a cross,
like a wooden cross.
Funny. Yeah,
it's like people lose thumbs all the time in here, and then it's like move out of the way.
I think this is maybe the best scene in the movie, in my opinion. Is like, and then we became best friends for a day, and then we get a montage of them doing best friend stuff over the course of a single
for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Right before she does the cross thing too, she runs over and like jostles her while she's trying to like use a bandsaw too. It's like it's great physical comedy.
Yeah,
she's like, Mike is in the hospital and he's not doing okay. Sobbing. It's like, move your finger, please, away from this.
Right as like her monologue is saying, like, and a lot of people have lost fingers in shop class. And then it's revealed that her boyfriend has chlamydia, and he's on the phone.
Marianne's boyfriend,
mysterious stranger. Oh, who is it? Lisa Kudrow,
the guidance counselor.
Yeah, so she gave him chlamydia, I guess.
Yeah.
Did she give it to her? I can't remember.
It's he calls her in a panic, and this is also interesting the way they did this pacing wise, because we're coming out of like comedy montage to the nines, and as the music is fading, we get this actually kind of serious scene of this actor who's kind of still playing it a bit comedic on the phone, being like, "No, I love you. Everybody's gonna know about our love. It's fine. I don't care that you gave me chlamydia." And then immediately we cut to Lisa Kudrow being like genuinely emotional and shocked on the other side of the phone. And it just drops us right back into Olive going back to the office, opening up the door at the wrong place, wrong time. And Lisa Kudrow's character, the guidance counselor, Mrs. Griffin, just tells her everything, because she just found out that her entire life could be upturned because she made a really bad decision a lot of times in a row. And that sucks.
It's also funny that
Consequences for your actions.
He's like screaming on the phone about their love, and then she just hangs up the phone. She doesn't say anything. She's just like
the panic.
Yeah. And then she once again decides to be the Kevlar vest for everybody, and takes the bullet. It says that she has.
Says tell him I gave him chlamydia. It's fine.
And then
she
Amanda
can't
Bynes
also hurt her. What?
And then Amanda Bynes punches her, and that's the end of their friendship.
Yeah. With Rhiannon in the background, just taking full glee in that from her ex-best friend and maybe love interest that we never know. I think from here, do we go to the confession scene of her going to the church? She tries to read books about religion, be like, maybe there's a kind of God, maybe Marianne has a point, I'll read it. Apparently the Bible is next to popular fiction, next to Twilight in the bookstore.
Right.
And she goes to read some stuff, doesn't really get answers, also is still ostracized by people. And I think this might be where Quiznos guys comes in. And like a bunch of people are outside with signs being like, get Olive out of our school. And Rhiannon's like, also, I'm here and I hate you. And I'm part of this crowd now. And Olive runs over to the church and has this really beautiful, in my opinion, monologue in the confessional.
To nobody.
To nobody, unfortunately. But she does actually just need someone to talk to. And for some reason, still doesn't go to all the safe spaces that she has. I think she's actually, maybe it's coming from a place of like pure embarrassment that she can't quite face.
And I think she just wanted to talk to a person with anonymity so that she could potentially get advice without having to admit it to somebody. And,
Felt like she was trying something different. Like she has all these kinds of supports and adults who aren't listening to her, and it's just like, okay, where can I find comfort in all this? Like,
and she also is still trying to keep the secret, right? So she doesn't want people to know, so she can't tell anybody, because then it'll start to undo the work that she's done. And then she talks to Fred Armisen, who is Amanda Bynes' father.
And he's like, yes, hell is real. And continue your question about you wanting to tell me that you're a tramp, basically. Whatever you want to call it.
I thought it was so funny that Fred Armisen's in this, and he would have still been on SNL at the time, but he was a recognizable person to be in this comedy, but he has like 2 lines. Like it was just a funny little.
He does this a lot though, and has always done this.
That's true. I guess he's in Road Trip around this same time where he's just like that. But that scene in Road Trip is like hilarious.
He's Milipnos in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
I think.
Also, I watched that Parks and Rec episode that he's in as where Straight to Jail comes from.
I think he's just a guy that will do stuff if you ask him. He's like,
let's get him on this show.
Maybe he's like on the same like lot that's things are being filmed, and he's like, hey,
or
do you need something?
He could be friends with producers or writers, and they're just like, hey, you want to come do this thing? And he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
I mean, jump scare SNL characters is not uncommon.
Yeah,
for SNL actors.
True.
All the time.
It's because they want something to be inherently comedic without having to like do any legwork in terms of writing something funny. So they're like, just put Fred in there and it'll automatically be funny.
Instead of a character actor, you've got a character actor.
Yeah.
An actor character.
Yeah.
An actor character, as they say.
Oh, cool. Rory's out in the backyard, so for once I don't have barking in my
ears. You're free.
There's a bit of good physical comedy here as well, where she's trying to get up and leave, and she keeps knocking over picture frames, and he's like, "Oh, come on, another one!" Like, what are you?
Yeah, she's like breaking the glass of the picture frames.
Also, how she realizes too that it's Marianne's dad. She's like,
"Oh, come on!"
That part, this was funny. I mean, like, this movie's funny. It's just not.
Yeah. I agree. I think there's funny moments and stuff here and there. It's just a thing where I didn't watch it when I was a teenage girl, so I didn't.
Sorry, guys.
It doesn't resonate with me as much.
I was almost a teenage girl. Actually, I may still have been a teenage girl at this point.
2011.
2010. Aren't we
No,
the same
so I was
age?
in my like first. No, we're the same age. So I was in uni, but like uni is an extension of high school in so many ways, and my brain still hadn't formed. This was before 25.
Sure. I think
Yeah.
my brain. I like to tell myself my brain was, or like I did at the time, but I know that I was still dumb. I was
Yeah.
stupid. Then they go to home and to watch the bucket list. They put the bucket list up.
The bucket list. The bucket list.
Yeah, cross the bucket list off your
You can cross
bucket
this off.
list.
Isn't the bucket list like a super depressing
Yes.
movie?
I mean, it's a
too?
comedy
Yes.
though. It's technically a comedy as well.
Okay.
So,
He's
like-
talking about it like it's like, I don't know. It was a funny.
Well, he's
Stanley
family
Tucci is
member
just
of the
great.
week
Yeah.
every week.
Every week.
Always voted on by the mom, of course.
Yeah.
That's rude.
So the dad always gets it.
It's crazy. Like, okay, it's family movie night. Let's watch the bucket list.
Yeah, that's what I thought was like funny about that.
I feel like that scene, like, or at least the context of that scene was he probably wrote, wouldn't it be funny to have a line where someone says cross the bucket list off your bucket list, and then the whole the whole concept was just like fleshed out from that one line.
I have like a theory, and I don't think that it's real because I've seen that the script does actually exist. But I think that with the way that Stanley Tucci and Patricia, oh my gosh, what's her last name? She's amazing. Patricia Clarkson play these parents. I'm like, you could have just given them a bit as improv and just let them go. Like, that's how the scenes feel. They're just like kind of lived in and authentic in a way that doesn't feel like it's on the page, even though I know it is. Like the bucket list.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Bucket list.
They just have a lot of fun.
What do I know Patricia Clarkson from? She's in like a million things, but what do
A
I
lot of
see
things.
her? Because I recognized her immediately.
Very good actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, we get, I think, like kind of our last little poke from Olive here in the scene where they're setting up this movie. And she's like, oh, by the way, if people ask you if I have chlamydia, I don't. And her parents are like, okay, we should be concerned, right? Like this, are you sure you have this? And she's like, yep. And this is a point in my brain where I'm like, maybe parents should have stepped in, especially at this point.
When
I
chlamydia is
digress.
involved.
This is the fantasy of this world that we are drawn into. Yeah, rough.
Yeah, I agree. As soon as chlamydia is a topic of discussion, I think we should maybe have a family discussion away from little brother. Let him go and play video games. So then she finally gets asked on a date by her ex-best friend's ex-boyfriend.
Well, just before we get to that, we get sort of, it catches the story up with how her life is relating to the Scarlet Letter with some more flashbacks to the movie. And she's like, I watched more of the Scarlet Letter to see how this character was sort of internalizing it. And she goes and she bore her punishment with a humble silence and goes basically to, I guess,
That's not how I roll.
Or something. Yeah.
Like I won't do it that way. So
No,
not
she's
an
like,
option
I'm
for
gonna
me.
blow everything up.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, very me coded. That's for sure.
And we get her sitting with like everybody looking at her, and she's sitting at a table by herself, completely ostracized, completely alienated. And yeah, that's when the dude asks her out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he thinks that all the rumors are true, he believes that he just has to pay her for those things that have occurred to actually happen, which then he basically thinks that she's like prostituting herself. This is the grossest scene.
It sucks.
And it's one of those things that like it feels too heavy for the movie for me, just based on what's going on. But like I think it's appropriate, but it's also, I'm just like, ugh, this is making me uncomfortable. And everything about it is, because it's very clear that this is going to happen from the moment that he asks her out. Because I've been waiting for this to happen the entirety of the movie. I'm like, if everybody thinks that these things are happening, then eventually she's going to run into somebody who is going to do something really bad, who believes that it's true. So he takes her to Lobster Shack, and then she has a spiel about how guys are stupid and think that, you know, seafood is an aphrodisiac or something like that, shellfish, or I don't remember it, but
It's also like so nervous and like actually being her goofy self for the first time, I think, since the beginning.
yeah, and she
like
seems
maybe
to be
somebody wants to know me.
yeah, I think she's excited. She wants to make a good impression, and she has absolutely no idea what's going on, or at least we don't believe she does.
No.
Even though the audience is like, "Ugh, this is going to end poorly,"
I
and
think
he's
she
just
wants
really
to believe in something at this point in the story, right? Like
Yeah.
she wants somebody to get it. So Rose.
Well, she said, like, you know, I've done all this stuff and I've completely trashed my image, but like all these things that I've done, not a single person has approached me to go on an actual date. Everybody has just been coming to me to have these phantom ghost dates that don't exist. But like, yeah, the thing that grosses me out the most is like just his facial expressions and the way he's reacting to her and stuff. It's like he's waiting kind of thing. He's like, I'm waiting for your boobs to come out or whatever. It's just like
basically
that vibe the whole time. And I'm like, this guy is disgusting.
This is a classic teen movie scene. We see it in Clueless. We see it in this. I don't have a problem with because it fits the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. I just don't have a problem with it. I just don't like it.
Yes, that's
it's
what I mean.
uncomfortable.
I do have a problem with
Sure.
it. It's uncomfortable and it's terrible, but
it sucks.
Of all the things this movie does, this plot makes sense.
Yeah, I was hoping that they would subvert it in some way because I was expecting it the whole time, and so like it's one of those things where I'm like, I've seen this movie before. When's it gonna happen? And it did happen. It happened almost exactly how I imagined it to happen, short of the lobster shack. I didn't expect there to be a lobster shack involved at all.
Lobster Todd.
Yeah,
I think like the thing that was added to the scene, at least for me in my viewing, maybe I haven't watched as many movies as all of you have, but the addition of having Todd there, where obviously Olive not expecting it and has a lot of respect for this guy. She's like, oh, weird, I'm on a date with somebody else, but I've always kind of liked you. Whatever, it's fine. The moment she sees Rhiannon at the other table across the way, her entire expression changes and she cannot be there because she also, even though her friend very much was not a true friend for her in a lot of moments, she still cares. And she's not a heartless person. She doesn't want to hurt her feelings right in front of her on apparently her birthday because Lobster Todd is rapping happy birthday.
Yeah.
And like that's the geek out moment. What?
Any telegraphing that Olive is a bad person or wants to be doing any
No.
of this. Like she's always been shown as
Very pure.
everyone else is just being shitty to her, and she has to either make her way through it by herself or be the big person in every scenario. And that sucks. To this mess anyway, right? Like,
yeah.
And Todd being there, that's again like classic trope. Of course, like the white knight who's going to drive you home is going to be there. Like that's just how these. It's the satisfying like fantasy for the girl, like John Hughes, blah blah blah.
Yeah, you need to have the scene
hill,
where you need to have the scene where all the people go to have it. This is almost like I guess the climax of the movie a little bit.
This is where everything really hits its peak in a way of being really bad. I also think too, I had like this thought rewatching it yesterday with you guys of like, I'm pretty sure that this Micah guy who used to date Rhiannon planned this because obviously he knows her birthday. I mean, Olive would too, but she's kind of been caught up in a lot of things, so maybe she doesn't know what day it is. But clearly Micah knows and probably knows where her family is going to have dinner. I don't know. It just feels like extra malicious.
I'm going with Stephen on this one, and the writer was probably like, let's have all of these things happening at the same time. And it's her birthday because like
right. Drama.
Everything that we know about Olive, she would know that it's her best friend's birthday.
Yeah.
I would assume so.
Also, just quickly,
but
Micah
I guess she wasn't invited to dinner.
Guy, and this guy's name is Anson, which is also what a name.
Oh, sorry. Micah is the religious guy that got chlamydia. Anson is. You're completely correct.
Chlamydia. That's how you remember it.
Yeah, that's how they wrote it in the script.
Yeah,
I think. But yeah, this scene is gross and not cool, as Anson is even understanding of the fact that this wasn't maybe fully real, but he doesn't care. He just is a gross guy.
Yeah, he does the come on, baby, come on, keeps trying to kiss her, and it's just I hate
and it
that.
really sucks. And he
Like, you're
like
right, too
gives her a
heavy.
gift
Too
card.
heavy.
Yeah.
It's
mean,
heavy.
He may as well be like an upturned mop with a boner. Like there's no
Basically.
he's got no character whatsoever.
Basically.
That's a t-shirt.
But yeah, like he like gives her a gift card of like he says like I paid you or whatever, and Olive obviously in like this terrible horrible moment it just chucks it back at him and is like, nope, you didn't. Take your money back, I don't care. And that's when we have Todd exiting the restaurant being like, whoa, actually things aren't okay. I'm gonna step in. Also, I will say not too white knighty, just enough to be like, I'm gonna get you home safe, but like clearly you're not okay. And I'm not, but he's not trying to like, I feel like a lot of white knight stereotypes are like, I am here and I'm going to save you and I'm going to like protect you. But I think the way that written on the page, it reads that way, but I think that Penn Badgley's delivery of this does not feel that way.
Yeah.
It feels much more like somebody who's like, oh, that's somebody I know that like I care about that's in distress.
I felt
And I'm
like
not
they were,
letting them drive home right now alone.
Yeah.
That's insane.
But that's still
I felt like they
doesn't
were
really-
old friends, and
Yeah.
that relationship translates to this drive home, where he's just like, you need to get out of here. And then at the end of it, it's like he's like, "Can I kiss you?" And she's like, "No, not like this." And that's when they revealed kind of to each other that
They
or
had
part
crushes
of
the whole
it.
time. And
Yeah.
Rhiannon was
White
his first
Knight
kiss.
has like what it's become. Like that's the incorrect way to say it. He's the prince that shows up, like that, which is it's still a trope. It's still
like, for sure.
Like the guy comes in and saves you. Like I'm still rolling my eyes because of course there's that guy who's there to drive you home in the movie, right? Like
Because it's a John Hughes movie too.
Yeah.
I mean, like this
Not-
is straight
yeah,
out of
but-
like Jane Austen, like the
Yeah.
the priest in Emma who like tries to bug Emma, and then okay, sorry, my brain just clicked off.
The typing.
Clicks.
Yeah. Well, I think also like this movie is not it's not like all new, right? This is calling back to a lot of stories, a lot of tropes. Of course it is. The only thing that I just want to say, and I'll shut up, but the thing I want to say about Todd that I do like is that he's not coming in like the smarminess way of a prince could be. His delivery is different, and I like that. That's all.
No,
You're supposed to like that
agree.
character. That's
Yeah, he's likable as heck.
I don't like him.
He's fighting Penn Badgley.
No, I think his character's lame. But anyway, it's just this is just how I feel about a lot of the characters in this movie, so it's fine. But
Can
yeah,
I just say?
What?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
This is why I find it so like whenever I'm doing any of these, I never bring a movie that I actually really like and feel like about, because it's just so hard. Like you like it so much, and like I like some really shitty things. Like I'm not saying this is shitty. I'm saying I like some really, really shitty things, and I know that I can't be objective about it. And so it's like I can't sit here. I feel like it's almost oppositional of me being like sitting here and being like, no, but
No,
it's
be
not
oppositional.
that. Like,
Or like it's
No,
just
but I
different
don't want
perspectives.
2027 in 2027 we're going to do Disney afternoon year, Disney movie year, and the whole year, all 52 weeks, Disney movies for Noel. And
Yeah,
and
you-
Steve might die. Steve might
What?
Not
Oh, you mean
even-
like Disney TV movies? Okay, like
Yeah.
Halloween
No,
Town
no,
and shit.
every
Fuck
week.
that.
Yeah.
Frozen 2 is my favorite movie, and I will defend it till like and I like
Halloween
Rise of
Town
Skywalker.
2, is that what you
I
said?
like I like Rise of Skywalker. So like, yeah. None of us are perfect, but it just
We'll get there.
I don't want to
2028.
be what?
In 2028, we'll do Rise of Skywalker.
That Noel's making the point that they like shitty movies.
And
Rise
also
of
it's,
Skywalker being a shitty movie.
I get it. Like
Yeah.
obviously I am going to have my own bias about this movie, but as I said earlier, like I'm only going to say my reaction if I have it and it seems important to me and it could not relate to you, and that's totally okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Also,
happy to bring this to
you
the
know,
podcast because it's fine.
When I call dude lame, I just mean the movie is doing its job to be like, you have to like this guy. This guy's the likable guy. You like this guy. And I'm like, yeah, I know, movie. Holy shit. Like,
That,
what the
yeah, that's
fuck?
my
For sure.
problem too.
Got
Well,
it.
think
I understand.
You said a great thing last night, Steve, and that's what a lot of people do with movies. I do it with TV, but you do it more with movies. It's like I want the movie to catch up to my brain. And this movie, I feel like you looked at the picture behind me and you were like, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Steven and I are almost never on the same page when it comes to movies, like bits and pieces. But like, I think you and I feel almost like right simpatico.
You guys, yeah,
Yeah.
We're
we're
having
equal.
trouble.
I'm kind of with Cass though this time, where I like this movie. It warms my heart. Maybe it's I'm getting older and I kind of yearn for an easy A, an easy
easy A.
story to sort of digest.
Mhm.
But you guys were like, I'm not falling for this shit.
I mean,
I
because
just fell for it when I was a child, guys.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
to me, it's just sort of, it feels like a very paint by numbers movie in a lot of
For
ways,
sure.
where I'm like,
Yeah,
this
no,
is
I
what this
agree.
movie's about. And then I'm like, well, this is probably what's going to happen. And then that's exactly what happened.
It does.
Like,
You
I
know
didn't
what
need
it
to watch
is?
that.
This is exactly like a Zack Snyder type movie where it's just trying to manipulate you. I can see the person like writing. I can actually see like Zack Snyder like being like, oh yeah, this is great, like jerking himself off on this.
Yeah.
This is exactly the
I
same,
see that.
only directed better. Like I can see
Yeah.
this guy, whatever his name is, Glub Schlick or whatever, being like, this is great. I love this. We're gonna make this fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's her birthday too.
I love
I
Glub
wasn't
Schlick.
expecting that.
This
That's
is
good.
a Zack Snyder movie, so far as I'm concerned.
Zack Snyder's Easy A. That lobster shack scene would
I
have gone
actually
on a
had a
lot
lot of
longer.
Yeah, there would have been so many more
Yeah. Not cute.
opportunities for disgust.
And now she decides, after talking to the most perfect man in the world, that she's going to go around and undo all of her work, and reveal to everybody
Try
that
to.
she doesn't have chlamydia. Yeah, she's going to try to. She meets quite a bit of resistance.
But first, she's gonna go confront Lisa Kudrow.
Well, that's one of the lies she has to
Right.
Yeah.
pull apart.
This is what, like, act 3 or act, I think it's 4 acts in total because it's like finished with a bang. This is act 3 where she's like, I'm a home record by accident. And I didn't mean
That's
to.
T.S.
Right?
Eliot. That's who it is.
Yes.
Practical Cats himself. I'm Glub Schlick. Nice to meet you.
Glove
But,
Schlick-
yeah.
Glove
Sorry.
Schlick. He's an upturned top mop with a boner. I can't remember what I was gonna say. Whatever.
Lisa Kudrow scene.
Right,
She's
it's
going after, trying to make it right.
yeah, and Lisa Kudrow's like, I'll lose my job, and she's like, I don't give a shit. Like, you're the one who had sex with a student, you moron.
It's legal.
It's legal.
It's
I
legal.
checked. I triple
Also, that's
checked.
concerning that you have to check that much.
No,
That
but
seems
She's
like
still
something.
in a position of power. It's still
Exactly.
for a relationship. Like,
It's not fucking cool. Not
I'm gonna
cool.
punch her in the face and get her
Yeah.
to stop talking. Her
Mhm.
close-up shot.
Mhm.
I hate
Uh,
that. It's funny, but it's not cool.
Yeah, and then she also goes around and talks to like Neil and all those people as well at the ice cream shop. His name's not Neil, by the way. I don't know.
I wanted to say about this what he says.
It is
that
now.
I think it's so dumb. Where he's like, "Oh, because of this, so many girls are talking to me now." It's like, can you not see that? Like, you just got confidence from it, and just you don't have to be so gross to the person that helped you out. And I know the whole
Yeah.
conceit of it is that it's gross, but
And
like,
that he can't see it. And that is the point. And
yeah,
that sucks.
I hate it. I hate it so much that he can't be like, well, now you're doing well for yourself because you've got this confidence. Use that as the thing that enables you to have the
I don't
confidence continuously.
I don't understand the premise of this because, like, what do you mean there was fake second base and now people are throwing themselves at him? Like,
Dumb.
What
No, that
girl
does-
in
Is
the
he
world
lying more?
would
Like, is that a lie?
Unfortunately, that is a thing that can
Sorry.
happen.
You with the talk, me with the fan. We're having a bad time.
Everybody's talking at the same time.
Sorry.
It was turning my brain inside out. Go ahead. What were you gonna say? Cass?
Me?
Me?
I think Cass was talking. I don't know. You were all
I was
talking.
just gonna say it's unfortunate because that does actually happen. Like, I don't know what it is. It's again, maybe it's like the patriarchy affecting everybody. It doesn't matter about your gender. It sucks, but like there is a phenomenon that does happen that I have seen play out in my real life of people around me in high school, where like if somebody has status, like sexual status, that does it's like the pick me kind of imagery, and it's insane to me. I don't get it, but it does exist. And it
That's
sucks.
crazy.
It absolutely
It's
exists.
insane.
Why
I've
did?
never experienced this, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And
that
no,
Well,
was
it
it's
is-
fine.
But it is real. So it's
Okay.
like, yeah, you know.
cool.
No, I had
Yeah.
I had a
I wish it
friend.
wasn't.
I had a friend in high school who, like, allegedly he was, and he
Okay.
got a lot of people wanting to see,
Right.
and it didn't go well for him after that.
I'm sorry. Is this a PG-13 podcast all of a sudden? He has a big
Well,
dick, and people wanted to see it.
Yes,
Everyone
but
I
it
knew
yeah.
was a virgin, and if you had sex, it was kind of weird. So we didn't. It just wasn't a thing. Like it just wasn't a thing. No one dated. Like I think
Yeah.
one of my friends dated, and they also like were the first one to get married. Not to that person, but like, so I'm crazy.
Your high school experience sounds like
I'm
you grew
crazy.
up with like Amish people or something.
Like on a
Anyway.
cloud
Downtown
somewhere. And
Toronto,
like
like,
it
Everybody
sounds
played
lovely.
Magic the Gathering at your high school. It seems like.
Yeah. In my high school, everybody was doing it, except me. But yeah, I mean, everybody was also lying about doing it. Everybody was lying about how many times they did it. Everybody was lying about what they did with certain people. Yeah, it was all over the place. And it
Yeah.
it did start things. It started rumors, and it made people more sexually charged, I think, which I always found very uncomfortable because I didn't even like making out with people. I was like, I don't understand why we do this. This is weird. I don't like it.
Yeah.
This is the way the world ends.
Yeah.
Right. I think
And then
it's
I
also
grew up a little bit, and I was like, oh, this actually is great. I love it.
when you like are not like under kind of a reputation status of it.
And there was
I
so
think-
much pressure, yeah. And it was like, I feel like, oh, it's prom night. I have to go to this cabin with my
It's
prom date,
expected.
and like we have to do it. And it's like one of those things where you're just like, this feels weird and gross, and I don't understand the expectation here. And like we both weren't really comfortable, but anyway, I don't want to talk about stories like
No,
this.
it's fair.
Yeah.
I will say though, like on that note, like especially in high school, I wish that I went to Noel school. I did not, but in at least my high school experience, and I feel like a lot of other people's, reputation is everything, and it is treated as like a social currency. And as I said kind of before, Olive's social currency continues to go down because she is being seen as sexual, even though she's not doing anything. She's being seen as sexual, and she is losing reputation points, which is losing her social currency. But the boys that are getting all of these favors from her of just saying, I did something, they are rising in their reputation.
Yeah.
And sexuality is such a big thing. Like for any teenager, obviously hormones are happening. There's a lot going on for anybody in that space. But women's sexuality specifically is treated as a detriment, as a punishment. And that I think is very much highlighted in this movie, where the guys do get away with it and they're fine. They get up
You're
with
a
it.
whore, not a stud.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is real. That's just a reflection on the reality that we exist in, and not their fantasy world in California.
I mean,
But
like there's
Yeah.
people that in life where it's like, I had a friend who she had like 2 boyfriends in close succession and was like labeled like a skank for years because of that. And it's like, it's not like she was, even if she was, it's a horrible thing to do. But like at the same time, that like that perception was so strange to me, where it's like, then you think about after university when you're going to like dating for real, and you're like, you can date like 16 people in 1 year. Like, it doesn't
Date
mean
16 people
anything.
One day. you want.
I mean, you could try. Speed dating.
This is trying to make the same point as like Mean Girls when Tina Fey comes in and is like, you all call each other sluts and bitches, and if you allow people to do that, then what you're giving power is to. And somehow in Mean Girls, a movie that is more comedic, like Mean Girls has its problems too, don't get me wrong, but like the message is so much clearer and cleaner, and it's because like a woman wrote it based on a book by a woman. Like,
yeah,
maybe that's what rubs me the wrong way about this. It's just like I can tell a white gay man wrote this.
It does feel
so clearly.
Yeah, even in like some like the dialogue choices and like I see it.
It hurts. I shouldn't be able to see who you are through the movie. I should be able to see the movie.
Yeah. The 73 F words weren't fuck in the original script.
Oh my god, Jason. Straight to jail immediately.
I've called a bounty hunter and placed a bounty upon your head.
We know
you will be dead by morning. I don't want it dead or alive, just dead.
I didn't write it.
I didn't.
I'm joking.
Okay.
All right.
The movie comes close to its conclusion. Yes, that's where we are.
Yeah, she talks to the mom.
We're pretty close.
She talks to the mom, finds out the mom was promiscuous in high school, and they kind of bond over that.
Gross.
It's a sweet scene.
Okay. It's interesting because even last night watching both of you react to this scene was so different than the way that I react to this scene, and I think that's really cool. I hear you. That is a little bit of a weird thing, but when I think about Olive and like her family dynamic, obviously they're very open with each other, and while this is not perfect motherly advice in and of itself, I do think that there's a part of this that with her mom saying, oh, I went through a similar thing. And Olive's like, did people think you were a slut? She was like, no, I was. And like, but the way that she delivers it is there's no judgment in her voice for that thing. She's just saying, I slept around with people and I did my thing. And, I was going through a lot and maybe I shouldn't have done it, but I did. And I was okay, and you are better than me. You're my daughter, and you are so smart. You are going to get through this so much better than I did. But I'm still here for you, and I do have an understanding of where you're coming from. And I think that is kind of beautiful.
Do you know what it feels
and then
like?
they joke.
It feels like everyone in this movie is uncomfortable with emotions.
Yeah.
So like
maybe this movie was made for
deflecting. So, yeah, it's sweet. It's a sweet scene.
It's cute.
Still gross.
It is still
It's sweet.
Your mom trying to talk about a gangbang. Like, Mom, stop that. And then we get the end, which is what is it? Oh yeah,
the musical number.
She does a performance.
Yeah. This was another Amanda Bynes doing a really like grossed out and then like captivated face at what's happening, and everybody is just like, oh my goodness, she's really taking it all back.
This seems a little bit inappropriate for high school.
Todd picked the most inappropriate song in the band school book, which was this song.
Yeah.
Inappropriate.
I mean, this scene is just the Ferris Bueller scene. It doesn't matter or mean anything. We're just like, Glub Schlick is just like, okay, finally, like she said that she wanted this, so I'm gonna do it.
Random musical number for no apparent reason. We all deserve that, I think. Maybe that's
my whole
And then she puts the boa on Rhiannon and they're best friends again, I think.
That's pointed. It's pointed, and also that would be me too.
I think it was a fuck.
Absolutely, it was.
That's the female hierarchy, Jason. Don't you know? That's how women apologize to each other. They put boas on each other.
Yeah,
and when they talk,
say, "You be the princess," then.
Yeah. But I think you're right.
Why are we like this?
No, I recuse myself from this girl on girl crime. Like,
no, me too. High school, I saw it. I lived it in high school for a second, if I'm going to be honest, but not anymore. Guys, we're
Never
grown.
again. No,
We're grown.
ain't nobody got
We're
time
better
for
than this.
that. I think this
Who
is
was I
one of the
gonna-
things.
like
that-
it was all girls. Who the hell was I going to talk to?
True. Also,
Wait, you
seems
went to
like
an
a lot of
all-girl
people-
high school?
Yeah.
No, my stream
Oh.
was all girls because all the boys were stupid and dropped out
I
and
see.
went into the other streams.
Hello.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Michael Mangiari.
The Manjo himself.
And then the movie ends with her doing one final entry into her web pod. What was it called? Webcast?
Her webcast.
Yeah.
Well, she invites
is
at
a
the end of her
webcast,
big
technically.
musical number. She's like, I want to invite everybody to log on to www.freeolive.com
HTTP.
because she wants to tell her truth and actually claim her narrative back.
Save Ferris. Yeah.
Right. But it's obviously a ploy to be like, oh, you think you're going to be getting one story or seeing something that you would love to see for free. You're not getting that. Sit down and let me tell you the actual truth because I need to own up to some stuff. And whether you believe it or not, I don't really care. I just need to say it. And these people are involved, but also it's not like a revenge plot for her either. She doesn't like go after people, which I kind of like. I think it would have been a different movie if she did do a revenge story. We would have just had to reframe everything to be that.
That's another 2-hour movie attached to it. That's part 2.
Right.
Where
That's
she
part
goes
2.
in and carries like her way out of this one.
But this is just, I think, after getting to a breaking point of a facade, a character that was like almost like a protective shield. She gets to do this now and say, here you go. And I am
I
me.
think the movie just kind of ends. Like,
Okay.
The conceit of
Yeah.
the movie is just like, that's it. We're good now.
I like how everybody's like trying to refresh their browser to be like, there's got to be more.
Mhm. Also
Nope.
gross.
It's like they actually didn't get it. Like it.
But that's reality. People don't get it. That sucks.
Yeah, but I'm watching a movie that's already a fantasy. Why is there some reality in my fantasy? It doesn't
Yeah.
work for me.
The only, like, this might be me making a stretch, but I think that because Olive's narration through this entire movie has been kind of viewer to viewer or narration to viewer relationship, we now have this open up to being, it's actually not about us as the audience, as the viewer, kind of. It's about her school and whoever's watching this webcast. It forces us to like see it in that light in a way of like we are involved now. And that's tricky. But I think that was like, I don't know, I think it was smart. Like a smart
Yeah,
choice.
but like
of-
also, what if Brendan and his new boyfriend were watching Huckleberry Finn?
I don't
Yeah.
even want to touch that scene at all.
we don't have
Okay.
to. That did not age well. It didn't, and that's fair. Totally fair.
For everyone,
Brendan boyfriend
wondering,
should have been like, what
scene
the
at
fuck,
end
man?
that just
Watch the
didn't-
movie.
Yeah.
Did you see this one?
Didn't add anything. All it did was take away it. Like whatever I liked about the movie to close it. You know how like you need to close on end on a high note.
Yeah. It
And
just
on a
fumbled.
weird racist note.
Kind of reminds me of when we were watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil like a few weeks ago. And it was like, wait, why did you make that the ending like joke pin? Not the same thing, obviously, but just
Yeah.
like a womp womp.
I'm like, oh, that's terrible. Yeah. But also this movie, same. And then they ride away on a lawnmower together. And the movie's over. We did it, guys. We got to the end.
We've done it.
Yay! So
Thanks for humoring me, everybody.
no problem. I think we had a pretty productive discussion. But with that, let's get to our homes alones of it all.
If you had to pick one,
Well, what do you think the Home
when
Alone of it
is
all?
the Home Alone of it all?
Can someone please tell me when the Home Alone?
I
of it
really
all
gotta
happens?
know.
When is the Home Alone of
What
it all?
is the Home Alone of it all?
Now that's the Home Alone of it all.
All right. So the Home Alone of it all, everybody. The Home Alone of it all is when we, as a group, individually decide which part of the movie best represents the Home Alone of it all, which is, of course, the part of the movie that is either integral to the movie's plot, your favorite part of the movie, something that is very important to you personally, or just something that you really like. We all have argued that Home Alone, the movie where Kevin McAllister is defending his home from the sticky bandits or wet bandits or whatever, the moment where he places the blueprint down on the table is the Home Alone of it all, of that movie. And we argue that there may be one in every movie. And this is where we get to decide if this movie has one or not. So, Cass, why don't you go first? And please also give us your final thoughts on the movie as well as a rating, please.
Okay. I did actually write down my final thoughts. I pulled a Jason. But to do my Home Alone of it all first, I'm sure I'm probably stealing it from a lot of you because I feel like it's the most common one. It is the Bad Reputation music scene where Olive like finally snaps of her best friend kind of betraying her, thinking that she's a slut as well. She's like, cool, if that's what they think of me, that's exactly what they were going to get. And this whole montage scene into Stanley Tucci being funny as heck. My final thoughts, I will try to say this as like organically as I can, but in terms of the actual topics of this movie, I think that they're inherently like common feminist talking points. We've got slut shaming was basically the actual intention of this movie when it came out in 2010. Gossip culture and a narrative of how women are judged for their sexuality, whether they've done anything or whether they haven't, it really doesn't matter. If it's assumed under the patriarchy, it's going to be used against them. Also, the idea of the patriarchy and misogyny not just being for men. Women can be perpetrators of this too. We can all be a part of the system. And I think this movie wants us to reflect on that and break that cycle. Well, I'm not sure if this is a specifically written film as a feminist movie while we're doing it on this podcast to look at it in that lens specifically. I think this is definitely a feminist conversation starter, especially in the time that it was released. Teen comedy 2010, that's going to happen. But I don't think that this movie tries to be a like perfect feminist blueprint of anything. But I do think its value comes from inviting us as viewers, as an audience, especially young women, to question the social rules that they have inherited over time and over time and over time. And obviously not everything has aged perfectly, but the heart of this story is still impactful today. And I often find myself rewatching it whenever I need a reminder that people's opinions are only that, and I am the writer of my own story at the end of the day. It also reminds me that I still want my own random musical number for no apparent reason. Hello. So if I were to give it a rating, I might rate this movie as a pocket full of sunshine, or grade it as an easy A, but honestly, it's nobody's goddamn business.
Whoa.
All right.
Thank you. Noel, you can go next, please.
Yeah, so same Home Alone of it all. I think we're all waiting for her to be walking down the hallway with the A on it. This time around, my Home Alone of it all was Amanda Bynes. I just wanted more of her. But my final thoughts about this movie is that this movie came out between the girl power era of feminism and the slut walk era of feminism. So this was very much whatever was going on in the zeitgeist. I think that this movie it's funny. It's fine. Like I said, I liked it when it came out. That's not a problem for me. I don't really know why it rubbed me the wrong way. I mean, like, I can't believe I forgot the giant racist thing at the end. Like, how did I not remember that? But it's just like you said, Stephen, it's really paint by numbers. I can telegraph it a little too well. I don't think it's saying anything. I can't identify with the characters. I don't like her lisp. I don't like Emma Stone.
I forgot that you kept bringing the lisp up over and over.
It's like, that's the same lisp.
This is very ableist of you.
Yeah, sorry. It is. It is extremely ableist of me. You know how sometimes you just don't like certain people? Like how people don't like me a lot. But But anyway, that's not the point. That's actually super petty, and I'm a dick. But there's anyway, not the point there. I just think this movie is just to be watched for a silly lark, not to be watched for any other reason, and don't think about it too much. It makes sense if you don't think about it. So I give this movie, you know what, honestly, I have a lot of other things I could say about it, but there's just no fucking point. And it's not even just the feminism stuff. Like, putting that aside, there's so much more I could say about this movie. And I just don't want to. Sorry. So I give this rating 1 glub schlick out of a Z Schneids.
Oh my God. Zack Snyder catching strays on the episode of Easy A. Jason, why don't you go next?
Gave him compliments.
Yeah. I agree with you guys. The Home Alone is when she gets the A and starts, taking it back. I enjoy this movie, like I said. From a final thought standpoint, I honestly it's just an easy popcorn teen comedy thing that, don't think about it too hard, but it's saying something which is important, but it's kind of clumsy with its execution. I think that it's important to recognize that Cass's connection has a connection to the real world. But if you don't have the connection, I could see just kind of being like, this movie's just kind of there. And that's okay, because a lot of movies are just kind of there. And as long as it's trying to say something, it's doing better than movies that are just saying nothing and just slamming your brain with wondering what was that all about. I did enjoy it. I had a good time with it. I think it's a fun movie. And I did reflect on when it originally came out, I was able to be like, oh yeah, I remember what high school was like. And I hope that people in high school watch this, because there are some elements that are reminiscent of what high school seems to be like now, but just more social media is involved. I thought it was really interesting that the whole thing is her talking to a camera, which we're doing on this show, but so many teens are doing through TikTok and Instagram Reels now.
Seems rough out there.
It seems very rough out there. I can only imagine what Locke's going to go through when he's in high school in 15 years, when there's no more water.
Yeah.
But that's a different conversation.
The data centers will be everywhere. He'll be working at a data center at that point.
Yeah, his brain will be plugged into a data center. He will be a data center, and it'll be the Matrix for real.
Oh, depressing.
Yep. Sorry to take it on a down note like that, but I give this movie a solid 3 out of 5. And if I was to actually rate this movie, I give it an easy C.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Thank you, Jason. My turn. My Home Alone of it all is the best friend montage with Amanda Bynes. I think it's the funniest part of the movie. I think it's the best in terms of execution on a joke, a movie that is meant to be funny. I didn't laugh very much throughout this movie, but that is a moment that I appreciated. And anytime that Stanley Tucci was Tucciing all over the screen, anytime you get a touch of the Tucci, it's a good thing. I think the movie, my final thoughts on the movie are that it's unoffensive, but it doesn't do a lot for me personally. I think that there are dozens of other movies that are saying the same things and achieving the same message, and are more entertaining and better movies. That said, I would never deter anyone from watching this if they're interested. If they like Emma Stone, it's a really competent performance. All of the performances in this movie are actually quite good. And entertaining enough that they hold your attention. It's not hard to follow. It's a very simple story. But you can appreciate the moments with Stanley Tucci and even Lisa Kudrow. Cass, you brought it up several times. Like, she's great in this movie as well. Amanda Bynes is so funny. Like, anytime she's on screen, she's just being a goofy weirdo, and I love it. I do think that the movie could have been improved if they gave her a bigger role and kind of maybe thought about introducing characters at the beginning that stick around for the entirety of the film and don't just disappear as soon as they're not useful to the main plot. I understand the movie is about her, but these people exist in her life and are important to the plot until they're not, and then they vanish. And I don't like that. I don't like when movies do that. It feels lazy to me. And this movie, the script really felt like it was just being kind of duct taped together as it went. The beginning of the movie has nothing to do with the middle of the movie, has nothing to do with the end of the movie, other than like everything that's happening to her. Everything else just kind of falls away into the void behind it. But that said, like, again, it's not like a horribly offensive movie. It's not something that I think is terrible. I think it's just a movie that if I had seen it when it first came out, I probably wouldn't remember anything about it. I personally really don't like coming of age stories. I dislike stories about teenagers, especially stories about teenagers who are in high school. If they're not in some sort of Hunger Games scenario, I don't give a shit. Like, I need them to be shooting arrows at each other for me to be entertained. It doesn't connect to me. It didn't connect to me when I was a teenager. I think I hated it more when I was a teenager. And now I just kind of find it like, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch this. But I do understand why you enjoy it, Cass, especially because it enters your life in such a moment of need and it changes something from fundamentally inside of you. That is important. And for that, I would recommend people watch it, because if it has that power for you, it might have that power for somebody else as well. I will never watch it again, though, personally.
I might.
I might, yeah. And I think if I have to give it a rating, I'm going to give it an upturned mop with a boner. That's my rating.
Nice.
I just have one little thing to say. As you were talking, Stephen, my brain started like I had an apostrophe. Lightning struck my brain. This movie is, I think, directed well and shot well.
Mm-hmm. It's competent. It looks like a movie.
It's a very competently shot and directed movie. And I do want to give it props there that it's like that's part of what makes it palatable and entertaining and fun, is that like there are aspects of this movie that do really well. And I can definitely understand that movie that just catches you in the right moment. Like I was saying earlier, it's Frozen 2 for me, and I'm going to see stuff out of it that other people just will not. And that's based on like my ethnic background, like the indigenous story that's being told there, and a whole bunch of other stuff that people just like completely miss. So like I get it. I've been defending Frozen 2 and Rise of Skywalker for a very long time. So I also would say like throw this movie on. Like, it really isn't that offensive. It's fun. Just don't think about it too much, or you know, like maybe it'll like, I don't know, make you feel better. But like looking at this in hindsight, it's actually still pretty relevant, which is interesting. Okay.
Wish it wasn't, but yeah.
Lori, what are your final thoughts? Oh, okay, that's good.
Got it.
Excellent. Okay, well, thanks everybody. Let's go to our plugs.
All right, let me just plug this in right here and
I was while you were talking, Noel, I was like, I wonder who the director of photography or the cinematographer was for this movie. And I looked him up, and I have seen literally not a single one of his other films. So I'm like, oh well, he must be good because this movie looks good. Looks like a movie. Anyway, this is the part of the show where we plug things that are going on in our lives. Cass, why don't you go first, please?
I don't really have anything right now other than maybe something that I can't talk about yet. But I did do a bunch of self-tapes this week, so we'll see. You might hear me on the radio soon or in some voice acting stuff if I book it.
Cool.
Other than that, I don't know. Take care of each other, guys, and don't be a bystander to the patriarchy. Fight it to the death.
To the death.
Don't be a whore. No, wait. That's
Wait.
Wait.
No, wait. It's like covering myself in sand to like.
No. All right, Noel, why don't you go next?
What I'm plugging is go out of your comfort zone. Watch something slightly different from what you would normally watch. That's what I took away the most from this Feminist Masterpiece month. I think in previous seasons of this, we've done very intentionally picked movies that had like women behind the camera, or like this time it was a little bit different. I think everyone brought in something kind of unusual for this topic and stuff that I wouldn't have watched otherwise. So I very much enjoyed having my, like, The Substance broke my brain. I don't even remember what the second movie was. Yes. And then like I think I might be a Zack Snyder fan ultimately, in like a very love-hate relationship that we have. Like, I don't know.
After all this,
man.
Yeah.
I think we've been through so much together now.
There's too much history.
Yeah, all it took was watching Easy A to make you into a Zack Snyder fan. So.
Okay.
Also, Emma Stone almost played Baby Doll in Sucker Punch and then did Easy A instead. So
I think I would have liked Sucker Punch less if she did.
I'm happy. I feel like that was the right choice for everybody.
I don't know why you take her singing in this movie and then put her in a musical. She can't sing. Okay, sorry. She's good. It's fine. She's fine. I hate La La Land. Sorry.
That's fair. She's good at cabaret.
I'm plugging, going out of your comfort zone, watching something, trying to
Have
enjoy
fun.
it. Listen to your friends. And you know it's a great way to do all of those things. It's to tune into, hey, did you see this one?
Yeah.
And like listen to some idiots talk about, I mean, two smart people and a couple idiots. That's Cass and me's the smart people. Talk about something that like you may not know, even if you don't like the movie, even if it doesn't call out to you. Like maybe if you watch it, like you'll have a nice time. So watch the show. It's really cool.
Thanks, Noel. I'll go next, Jason, then you can do
Plugging
the
my dog too.
Sure.
Okay, so I am Stephen Bobo Blackfly Waters. You guys know that. But did you know that I'm also the narration voice man? No, I'm the narrator for I'm the narrator for Darth Theorist, Three-Eyed Theorist, and the Half-Blood Theorist, as well as all the character voices. We're excited to reveal that we have been poking around on the internet looking for more voice actors for that. As well. It's getting to a point where we're producing so many videos a week that I can't keep up with all the narration. So we're trying to figure out a way to integrate more actors to be able to cover some of the character roles so that I can get through scripts faster. So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. I'm sure a lot of people will hate it. Like, you know, when a person is recast in a cartoon show and then the world lights on fire for a couple of months, I think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I've been going through some of the voices for the Star Wars stuff, and the guy we've got working with us right now he does some pretty good ones, but we'll see how it works out. I'm also with the Sonar Network I worked on Stanley last year, and we're still plugging that because it's such a fun, interesting show. I also edited some of the spin-off episodes for that, and I'm all over it in terms of character work. I also re-edited Randy, another comedy drama podcast that you can check out on Sonar and anywhere else you get your podcasts. And I'm excited to announce Snowtop, the next chapter, Mike Sachs' adventure in Poolsville. Poolsville is sort of like the Stephen King, how he always puts stuff in Maine. This is sort of like the equivalency of that, only it's like goofy comedy stuff where all the characters are kind of interacting and living in the same places. But Snowtop is it's a return to, or a claim to return to fame of a rapper from the 90s who is trying to leave his position as a successful surgeon and become I think he's a surgeon, he might just be a doctor, and to become a rapper again. And Cass has been is recorded some voices for that. Jason's also recorded some voices for that. I am sort of a pretty big character in that show, and I'm going to be editing all of it. We don't have a release date yet, but we've got lots of really cool celebrities that are lined up to lend their voices. I don't want to say anything yet just because we haven't recorded stuff. So I'd rather wait until we know for sure that they can do it. But yeah, for the people that we're looking at and the people that have agreed, pretty cool. So I'm excited for that. And I'll give
Excited to hear it.
Comes. Yeah, I've read through the entire script with, we did a table read a couple of months ago, and it's quite funny. And some of the roles that we've already filled have been making me chuckle. So yeah, that'll be coming soon, and I'll give you guys more updates as we go, but keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, I think that's all. I'm good now. I can end that there. Those are my plugs.
Cool. Yeah. If it's announced and I want to plug Snowtop on the Sonar Network, that's great. That's exciting. I had a more substantial thing to do in that than I did in the Stanley spinoffs. So that's exciting. I am the announcer. I'm the voice of Superkick Wrestling here in Toronto. We have a show coming up on July 31st at the Great Hall. The only match that's been announced is actually quite exciting to me. It's Psycho Mike versus the Ultimate Woman, Layla Wild. That's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a good show. I'm not really sure what the main event is right now. They didn't really set anything up last month, so it's going to be great and all new. And we're working with a new company called Wrestle6 that I'm also I did a show with them. I'm going forward. I'm going to be the announcer for that as well. So more information as that comes out. You can also find this show, Hey, Did You See This One, each and every week right here on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook at 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday night. We go live. We talk about a movie. We break it down for, typically 4 hours. Tonight, we did it in 2.5, which is crazy. Yeah, maybe we're turning a corner on how long episodes go. Probably not. That said, you can find the video on demand version of this show over the weekend after, typically on the Sunday after the Thursday. And you can find that pretty much everywhere in audio format and on demand on YouTube and Twitch. So go check out our backlog. Like I said earlier in the show, we're at 239 episodes. So there's lots of movies to go and hear our thoughts on if you're into that sort of thing. And I would like to thank Cass and Sweet Potato, holding a sweet potato, as they do, for another very good and very fun and very deep, insightful Feminist Masterpiece Theater Month. Thank you, Noel, for joining us every week, and thank you, Kaz, for filling in for me last week because I just needed a refresher.
I got you.
And this is the month where we go a little bit deeper from a social standpoint. Typically, we're just making dick and fart jokes, making fun of the movie, or making jokes about the movie. We like to do this to sort of break from the norm, if you will. But yeah, that's our show for this week. There is, of course, just one last thing that we have to do each and every week right on this show, and that's ask the burning question that everybody needs to ask. And our guests do it, and I'll count backwards.
Time? Okay,
yeah,
I got you. Well, Noel, because I respect. I just wanted to ask your cute little doggo. Did you see this one? Oh. Nice.
Hey, do you guys have any things that you would like to give an easy A to?
An easy A? I don't know.
What does that mean?
Breakfast in bed? That's an easy A. That's good.
Sweet potatoes are pretty sick, bro.
Sweet potatoes good.
I think Taco Tuesdays are an easy A.
Ooh.
Chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast.
A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And take a peek into the darkness with Heard Noise, Must Investigate with Michael Chan. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.
Oh no! No!